Black people. Oh, that's what you said we're starting with, right?
I thought you were starting with back. Did I miss a letter?
Yeah, you did. No, yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a little sweaty. But like, I showered before here, and it's just that matter of like, I hate trying to like rush after a gym because your body's just gonna sweat still.
Yeah.
Does that lingering thing.
The shower doesn't take.
So I'm going back home to shower again, but I was like, I'm not gonna subject y'all to like that intense back day I had today. It was not intense. It was like kind of condensed.
Well, once in a while, you just feel and exercise a little bit more, and then you, instead of doing 3 or 4 sets, you do 5 to 8.
Like I was supersetting everything. It was just, I don't know, man. This week's been really good in the gym, except for legs. Legs hurt more than usual, and you know me, I'm an advocate for legs, but that shit was tough. But bench.
Oh, today was my leg day.
Really? What you do?
So my knees are still kind of jacked up, so I have one day where I do a lot more machine shit, and the other day where I get to play, is what I call it. So it's leg extensions, leg curls, calf raises, and then I just fucking go ham on squats. That's the one that it's just like, it doesn't matter if you do anything else before or after, really.
Honestly, look, like, so if people want the secret to a physique shortcut, it's because you're not doing enough squats. More you squat.
Greg Platz is right. Squats are the magic key that everybody wants to avoid.
No, literally, how do I put it? Every time I like if I had through pandemic just did one thing, just squatted, I would have been perfect physique.
Isn't that part of Saitama's workout too?
Yeah, it's just 100 squats. The more you squat, the more it's like gonna. Damn, I'm shining. I said the more.
Dude, that most of the time when I'm here, because right now I'm exercising in the morning. But most of the time when I come here, I have like a pinkish hue because I was in the gym 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's like that shower does nothing. But no, this week has been really good. I've been liking. I don't know. I got into a flow. I think I actually like, because I'm working out in that.
You entered a flow state.
It just clicked for me this week. Like, you know, I've been having a little bit of a plateau issue.
Yeah.
Bench, man, that was not cleared, but like I was rocking weight. Like my working set was a nice solid like 205, so that was good. For like the reps I was doing, and mentally I'm just getting better about like, I think it's always been a mental limitation of like not wanting to do weight I know I can comfortably do without a spotter around. Then I'm like, Big Tex, if I'm really struggling, there's someone who can rush over.
Right.
There's a dude that can lift up 600 with one arm.
Like, so like I just like give somebody a look a little bit, but like but that would be like if I'm doing like, you know, way above that. But it was just like mentally I'd feel like I'd been a bit of like stuck for a little bit. So that's nice to kind of break through some of the things. Except deadlift. I've not cycled deadlift in yet.
You're short, or shorter. Like it'd be easier for you to deadlift, I think.
No, it's not that. It's man, if you fuck up once on deadlift.
Because I feel like I don't get any action with deadlift.
Well, what do you mean you don't get it? Like you don't feel it, kind of thing. So deadlift for me is. So most bodybuilders and things at this point, they don't actually recommend deadlift.
Wait, what's happening?
Oh yeah, it's like charging or something, so it won't turn on.
What? That's fine.
Yeah, sorry, chat. We can't see you.
We can see you now. Yay!
I have the chat over here.
Okay.
Yeah, the battery died on one of our monitors. I apologize, but no, I broke through the iceberg just by having a cleaner diet for a couple of weeks, outside of the fucking pizza extravaganza that we had on Saturday.
Yeah, I've been I think that's also been helping out, man. Like I've been very on point with like what I've been putting in for the gym. Like today was pretty much just like I do this thing in the morning with like a fruit, like what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Double scoop of protein, collagen,
easy oats.
Like, I do I eat my oats plain. I like plain oatmeal.
Yeah, that's
because I'm a psychopath.
I'm
on that wavelength too, honestly.
Man,
I'm just lazy.
That's actually the other thing too.
It's like I ain't got time for protein powder. Just oat milk.
Just oat milk, and how do I put it? It's like a, how do I describe it? Like I just put oatmeal in water, and I forgot. But I've been trying to avoid oatmeal for a long time. But unfortunately, you can't avoid oatmeal. It's the one thing that I feel like just
It's the Thanos. It's
like
back to me.
like I'm telling you, like I had oatmeal. That's what I said before I did chest on Monday. Like I had oatmeal, and I was like, oh God, I forgot my body and all this fiber.
Because I avoided broccoli for the longest time.
I have like 10 pounds of broccoli in my
It's
freezer.
in my freezer. It looks at me. It's like, hey nigga, when you come back? And I'm like,
Let me buy like 3 rotisserie chickens and I'll come talk to you.
yeah, it's like, hey man. It's just-
But what I was saying about deadlift, a lot of fitness people don't like to do it anymore because
The risk.
Yeah, the risk reward isn't there, kind of thing.
I've heard that before, yeah.
For me, it's more of a ego thing. Like it's my day 5, and it's like I get to play a little bit today, and I want to play by picking up 500, 600 pounds today.
It's just
I might also be that. I'm just too nervous to like go.
all out. And that's my whole thing. I've gone all out in deadlift. Deadlift used to be one of my best lifts. I fucked up one time, and my back still. Like it still tweaks if I fuck it up. Like if I fuck with it, it's a lot more gentle ever since that one
When you
time.
fuck up a deadlift, you're at a 45-degree angle for the rest of the week.
Dude, can't sleep on your back. Like you just ruin your mood. And I'm like, is it worth it?
Like
And
Professor Farnsworth.
it's just so annoying because it's very much like, is it worth fucking up the rest of my week's worth of workouts just because I wanted to deadlift? And sometimes I'm like, no. But sometimes I'm like, man, but there's not a single workout that can challenge your lower back like that, right? So, no,
Good mornings.
Good morning suck.
Those broke Bruce Lee. I'm more scared of those.
Nah, man, I hate good mornings because I just end up being
He
my
also
body.
broke it with only 135 too.
Right, yeah. It wasn't a lot.
Oh God!
This nearly killed the dragon.
See, I just don't like this. That's why I like. No, back workouts are like. How do I put it? With good mornings, my body just defaults to being like, "We're doing a squat, right?" I was like, "Huh?" Like,
I don't know how I ended up here, but
and then I'll just end up doing legs. But I. Ooh, hey, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that, True Sinister. Jones and Pearson were reelected in Tennessee. Hey, not totally unrelated. I love getting to hear that. We'll get to talk about it more on the Blackcellence. I'll make sure we bring that up. Thanks for sharing.
There's a lot of news in the world today. Not a lot of it is anime related, unfortunately, but like the first football game is today as well.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, first
Preseason.
I'm going to go leave. I'll be beat. That's how I felt.
Trump has like
another foreign.
Dude, man.
Lizzo denies the banana allegations.
Did she deny all the allegations?
The banana one was the only one I cared about. I have questions about that banana. Did it go in peeled? Unpeeled? Did it go in unpeeled and come out peeled?
Was it a plantain? I was like, was it a banana at all?
So, the part that confused me the most was the flying phalluses kind of story.
Oh right, the yeah.
Flying phalluses?
I don't know how to say it and be like keep it PG, but it basically like the sex workers would like shoot stuff out kind of thing. I've seen it done with darts. I don't know how they did it with
Dills
these other
and female deers.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's why I was like, I don't know how that one works kind of thing.
Well,
Kegels.
I guess.
Kegels are like this mythical exercise I keep hearing about.
hey man, with a lot of also, hey, don't forget hip abduction, hip adduction. You know,
Hip thrusters are definitely in my repertoire today.
dude. It's I think that. Hey, that's what you say. Twitch doesn't like that. Look, unfortunately,
I'm with you, Serenity. It's just a matter of like, then it just becomes a hassle for everyone that wants to edit anything about this afterwards.
yeah. I feel bad for our editors, and we can say that now, editors. But no, it's just I've been really loving the flow state of the gym, and Michaela's been coming with me, so like that's been good.
That's awesome.
She's been doing a lot of. She's been enjoying powerlifting train, so because she went to and it was a cool thing because she was definitely a person who was like, I don't. Gym culture has a bad rep, and I was like, don't worry, go to real gyms. And
it really is like Mob Psycho.
Yeah, it's just it's just a matter of I think that and it sucks because I think of a lot of the commercialized like when you think of like Lifetimes, no disrespect towards Planet Fitness, like wherever you go, that's fine.
Yeah.
But a lot of the more mainstream gyms are the ones where you do run into like what you think of. Oh, like might not feel comfortable. There's a lot of people who are there for show and whatnot. The people, if you go to powerlifting gyms or like a lot of the local gyms in Austin, it's very much just like, oh yeah. All body types just here to lift weight and keep it boost each other up. Like
Pretty much. Like when you go to big techs, what I've noticed now that I go with Danny is that there's wrestlers, there's bodybuilders, there's power lifters, and of all genders and genres, basically, that it's just kind of like you will meet someone there that is just like, that's who I want to be. And they'll actually probably talk to you at some point and be like, hey, you did good today or whatever they may say. Because it's mostly positive. They actually did a big clean out of kicking a whole bunch of people out about 2 or 3 years ago. People that were being like...
just toxic.
No,
I mean, shoot, what was cool was I had some of the youth who came up while I was lifting and they were like, oh, like, how are you throwing that up like that? And I was just like, hey, man, just... like it's just about the form. I've been doing this, powerlifters. I'm just doing this like it's easy. So I was just giving them tips, like, hey, just keep. I think that sometimes we get taught to like really super concentrate, super honed in. I'm like, nah, if you're not having fun lifting, then you ain't gonna lift your strongest.
But this is like a really old argument that I saw that like why most Americans kind of break themselves. Like if you could look at the world's strongest competition, you'll see one American flag and a whole bunch of Baltic type flags. And it's like other countries have fun where they work out. Like the overall theory of it is that most countries work out 60 to 80% as hard, but they're laughing and having fun at the gym. And everything about American culture is like 120% every day. And then you break yourself out in like 3 or 4 months of training like that.
I would throw a log. Sign me up for that shit.
That's literally just about having like... Michaela listened to my playlist one of the days. She's like... because I have a playlist called Deadlift and Vibes, and it's just sex music. And she's like, you're listening to sex music in the gym? She's like, you're listening to... I'm like, hey, I'm here to vibe. Deadlift, I got to get sensual. Bench press, I'm listening to K-pop. It's random shit. I don't know what my playlist is that day, but
it's way different than my weeb and wrestling playlist.
Well, that was one of the funniest arguments I had with one of my... well, not arguments, but discussions with one of my ex, where it was just kind of like... she wasn't really a big wrestling fan, but enough that she could vibe with or not vibe with certain entrance songs. And I would be listening to the more heavier, hard rockin' type stuff. And she's like, that's just too loud. But whenever she heard Bobby Roode's entrance, she was like, that's what I would be listening to at the
gym. Glorious.
What was it? I've had
The Beethoven. I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Hey, man. Look, everyone is internally a wrestling fan somewhere. Will I sit there and lie to you? So look, I think I've told y'all before, I'm a huge Rey Mysterio fan, so...
well, I wanted... oh, Tommy actually had Rey Mysterio's moveset for the fake Royal Rumble. I wanted to give you Eddie Guerrero's, but it wasn't
hey, man.
on that.
Hey, man. Let me be the heel of all heels. But no, it's been real cool to see... because, how do I put it? I feel like getting to see someone else get to kind of enjoy something that has had like a little bit of a tough stigma against it has been really cool. Just to like, oh wow, like, and now sometimes she's on me more than I'm on her. I'm like, hey, we can't skip today. I'm like, I'm not skipping. I'm just, I gotta wrap up
5 more minutes.
Unless I'm dancing and walking, I don't listen to music when I work out. I listen to podcasts. Hey, like, and that's the best part. Do you? I'm the inverse. I can't walk to anything, actually. I like to. So if cardio's so boring. Cardio's just boring. It's always gonna be boring to me. But
I do like the cheat that I learned that it's like it doesn't matter whether you run a mile or walk a mile, you burn the same amount of calories.
Yeah.
I'm just like, play something.
I don't know how true this is, but I heard this tidbit from More Plates, More Dates. He was like,
Is that Elisha's podcast?
no, that's a YouTuber. He owns Gorilla Mine, or is one of the partners of Gorilla Mine.
Oh, sweet.
But he said that like when it comes to walking, it's probably like some of the best cardio you could do. But if you don't have like enough time in your day to like dedicate a 30-minute like chunk of time to walking, it's better to just walk for 10 minutes after your meal.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So like every meal you just walk 10 minutes afterwards and you're burning what you just ate. Like
That sounds like the drink a glass of water before you eat,
Right,
like
before you
easy
eat.
cheat.
And like, having a dog helps out a little bit. Not a lot of bit, but just a little bit. Because like you're doing more stopping than walking a lot of the time.
Right, yeah.
Mine has ADHD. I'm pretty sure. He just like
Well, he's still a
anything
puppy, like less than 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, well, right around 2 years.
Yeah.
I think. Actually, you know what? Someone asked me that. I said, "How long have you been about?" I'm fucking. He's just been here.
He's from the COVID black hole of
Yeah.
time.
I woke up one day and I had a dog. But no.
that's how it works in the border.
Hold up. Don't think I'm gonna ignore it. LA Breezy, if you talking shit, come through. Anyone here could outpace you in a heartbeat. Don't get it twisted. You're talking to people who've been in a gym for a very long time.
I just let it go as someone having fun or whatever. Like at the end of the day, you're welcome to come with me to the gym and see if you can outlift me in the three big lifts.
Yeah, I was like, anyone could come with me. Like I think that's the funnest part. I'm like, and that's the whole thing. When you go to, like, if you actually go to powerlifting gyms, you see people of all sizes. They just knock things out differently. It's real cool. But I was like, I love to check people sometimes. I'll be like, don't get it twisted. This is not weak.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hit the intro, and we'll be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Animexcellence. My name is Marco. I will be your host, and I am the worst video gamer here at this table, but I am joined by, across from me, if we had to send someone to EVO, we would send...
TJ, what's up? And then I'm next with the other J.
I'm JJ.
And you won the Royal Rumble.
Hey, you know what? It's very fitting we open up our pre-show with the gym conversation because little did you know, or a lot of did you know, gym culture and anime go hand in hand. Very much so. It's weird. It's like two things that are just so funny that they're synonymous.
One thing that I've noticed a lot outside of people using anime motivation to work out has become universal. Damn, thanks for all those gifted subs, Darth
Thanks, Darth Rabbit. Really appreciate it.
man.
Oh, hold up. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Really, really appreciate it.
But the other thing that I've noticed is, like, as I do research for all this stuff, just to make sure, did I miss any introspective? Did I miss any symbolism as we talk about anime? I'm like, anime has 100% been taken over by, like, black correspondents.
Yeah. It's just the black delegation has decided to send some folks to the anime community. No, but when you think about it, I don't think it's been. I don't want to say taken over, but I think what's been happening is it's been a lot more, and it kind of goes into what I had mentioned on the Blackcellence podcast during the 9-hour stream. If you haven't watched this on YouTube, one of the biggest things is that back. It used to be just some of those things you kind of because everybody I know in my community, like we watched anime growing up all the time. They could tell you they'd be the coolest kids in the fucking room, like, and still try and tell you. But the whole thing is, but the whole thing was now it's just kind of normal and almost cool to like anime.
Yeah.
And so people are just coming on and being like, I've liked this shit for years. I've watched everything. Cool. Now we can talk about it.
But I remember like in high school, it was seen as like a nerdy white, like it was right next to the Magic the Gathering type kids, basically.
We were right next to each other, and
yes, we sat right next to the Magic the Gathering. And then now it's just become like there's just been an explosion. And I think it does have to come with some aspect of just like we were comfortable with it and we gelled with it. And
it's just so a lot of the times, and it's a whole thing where it's this article that was burned into my head of like why a lot of minorities like anime. You've heard, I think some people have heard me talk about this, where it's like a lot of the times it's no, Jay Teller, you get that out the chat. You stop it. No spoilers. I'm kidding. Toei spoiled the shit out of it more than I ever could. But no, seriously,
we literally do have a One Piece segment today, so yeah.
I'm ready for this weekend, I'll just say that. But no, seriously, I think one of the biggest things is when it comes to God, y'all suck. Y'all suck. When it comes to anime and it comes to why minorities gel with it, it's more so like a lot of anime characters, particularly they were using Dragon Ball Z as a reference, like it's coming up. It's coming from being like the weakest to being the strongest, having a bunch of odds against you and watching someone with the ability to like climb up the ranks and like be the number one, right?
Also, being part of a proud warrior race that was conquered by a funny talking white guy helps.
Pretty sure we all gel with that.
Well, one of the examples that I have of that, I was not fully aware of it. We had a person that was supposed to guest on the 9-hour stream, couldn't make it. Part of it was because he was at DreamCon. I mean,
and don't get me started on. I wanted to go to DreamCon, and then this we had this thing that kept on coming in the way, so I couldn't go to DreamCon. I'm kidding. No, I'm going next year. DreamCon's awesome. I got to hang out with people afterwards, so like I got to.
You met up with them.
I met up with a few folks, but I didn't get to go this year because wanted to make sure I was fully invested in the 9-hour stream. But
and then I had never heard of it before.
You never heard of DreamCon, right?
No.
Now, every time someone brought it up, I thought they were talking about Dream Hack. Like, you're missing the hack part, bro.
No, it used to. I know it used to not. It wasn't always in Austin.
It was in Dallas.
It was in Dallas. It's been in Waco. It's been in a couple places, but it's always in Texas.
Yeah.
The cool part about DreamCon is, I mean, for lack of a better term, it's not what it's intended to be, but it's definitely a black anime con. It's 100% a black anime video game Comic-Con.
Yeah, Sam was asking me about it, and I didn't have any answers. Where he's like, "Is it actually like a black thing?" Because
no, it's not intended to be that way. It's just hosted. RDC1. Like it's hosted by them, and so a lot of the big black YouTubers that are around in the community come out for it because it's reactors, people who just do skits, everybody. If you're looking at a bigger, well-known black YouTuber, they probably like anime. And so they're coming out to rep for that and get to come to tournaments, and it's really just a big communal thing. A lot of people come through for it. It sells out quick.
I mean, that was the part that I thought was one of the most interesting that so I'd never heard of this thing. MK did a reveal there, and there was national, and not just YouTubers,
Nintendo sponsored.
Nintendo
doesn't sponsor shit. Nintendo couldn't even turn its face away from black people. They said, "Oh shit, we got to put some money somewhere."
The WWE sent some people with the fucking New Day being there, and I was just like, damn.
They had a legal Smash tournament. That's how much. Jesus, they had a legal Smash tournament.
Bro, it's easier to divide by 0 than to get Nintendo.
To let you play Smash. Yeah, your boy Roshi was there. He's he's like one of the OG reactors. What is it? Jadeon was there. There was quite a few names there. I'm just trying to go off the top of the dome. Berlizzi definitely was there. I think Afro Century was there. No, Afro Century was there. Yeah, quite a few different names there.
And just to look at some of the reveals that were done there, TMNT, Gran Turismo, Super Bomberman.
Oh shit, Bomberman 2 art. Or R2? Awesome.
Yeah, they had a whole, and then Denny sponsored it for some fucking reason. That's the one that was random to me.
What's really incredible is look, they even Viz was an official sponsor.
And then for the video game tournament, like they were giving out serious prize money. I mean, to just show up.
I'm sorry, like I'm really astonished they got smashed. Like that's just hard.
I do like the idea of the anime cookout, though.
No, I definitely hoping that things are in a place to make it knocked out. If it's in Austin, that'd be great for Animexcellence groundwork.
They said it was in Austin for the foreseeable future.
Perfect, because
awesome. We're totally going.
Yeah, we're totally gonna knock it out. We'll do 3-day pass. We'll do some interview shit there. Like,
I'll buy whatever mics I have to. I'll
yeah,
lapel mics, a GoPro.
Well, what's funny is
we'll hopefully be able to be booth ready by then. So
I was about to say, like, hopefully you guys help us grow a little bit because you can collaborate with DreamCon just by sending an inquiry.
For sure. No, I mean, it's really cool how I think someone said it best. It's a lot of it's just none but love, like love and wanting to see the anime community grow, wanting to see a lot of a minority shine in what we love to do. Not to say that everybody's invited, right? But it's really cool just to see. When I say you go on Twitter, you type in DreamCon, there is a trend of different folks there, and it looks like me and you. And it's just, and they're all coming through. And I think it's cool that they choose somewhere like Texas where it's realistically affordable for people to travel to, because Austin's not the most expensive place to go to in comparison to a lot of other options. It's not like Dallas, right? Dallas, cheap, dirt cheap. But here, getting room and board, doing it in the middle of the summer when no one wants to be here, it's a real smart play. I think the biggest thing that people were not able to do, how do I put it? I think what people were not able or ready for was the heat.
Oh, that was the part that there was some, when I was researching this, there was some level of complaining about it that I felt it was valid. But one of them is I didn't have enough volunteers, so people were just kind of struggling to keep up with their average workload. And the other one was when you waited to pick up your badge, you had to be outside in the sun for a little bit, which at 105 degrees, 5 minutes does not feel like a little bit.
Hey,
Yeah.
train up. That's your anime training. You want to go to an anime con? Feel like Goku by the after.
Be like Saitama, I never use air conditioning.
I was saying. You don't have a fan? You're not real enough.
I have seen a lot more of the neck fans in these days and age.
Well, yeah, it's cool. Look, maybe y'all don't want to hear the buzzwords, but climate change. It's fuck here. It's hot as fuck. But no, I definitely, there will be no reason on planet Earth anything is going to stop me and hopefully the squad here from going.
I'd be totally down to go.
We'll go for all 3 days and have a great time. And there's a lot of drinking that'll happen too. So it'll be a great time all around.
I mean, I have no idea what actually happens at this specific con, but I mean, I'm down to
JJ get
learn.
knocked out of every tournament round one. That's one of the things that'll happen if I go.
No,
I
I know they'll probably have fighters there, so I'm gonna be prepped.
Oh, they had fighters this year.
They had fighters this year. I'm hoping they bring it back. I'm gonna be prepped.
Just waiting for the clip because there's a big slideshow and there's one thing that I thought was really random and weird. I'm waiting for it to come up. There's people waiting. Everybody is all dressed up, but it looks like such a great production, honestly. And the fact this happened in our backyard and we didn't even get to hear about. I mean, I at least know about it, but I didn't get to hear about it till it was over. I was like, damn, that's what I was waiting for. They have a dodgeball tournament.
Yes, they do with the big names. It's really cool. I really it was one of those things where I knew when it was coming, and my timing was just so bad with the tickets. I did not get one. And then they had day passes throughout the weekend, but it was unfortunately the weekend we had this going on, so just could not make it work.
I mean, we were flirting with what date are we going to have this anniversary stream for 2 months kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was just
we kept pushing it back.
We kept pushing it back due to one reason or another, and that's totally fine. We really appreciate the support. Love the entirety of it. Oh shit, I forgot. Speaking of which, I have to do my hot ones, don't I?
I did it for you.
You did?
We did all the challenges on Tuesday.
Can I still try the hot ones?
Sure.
Totally.
Okay. I'm gonna go try the hot one. How was it, JJ?
Well, it's habanero based, so
not that bad.
it's kind of like Yellowbird.
Did you take it to the dome? Or did you put it on the chip?
No, I took it raw. Yeah.
Well, one of the what
There should be more in plastic. I think Mark had them.
they're over here. While TJ is getting ready, I wanted to share one thing that I knew was going to resonate with everything about the themexcellence core. Is there was a video game tournament, which was MK, so that's for me, and the person that won dressed like one of TJ's favorite characters.
And he's 0. He's 0 from holes.
So we're just gonna. We don't normally watch TikToks of React kind of thing, but it was just cool to watch everything about this. That he dressed up as Powerline. The New Day was there to kind of commentate on it, or up, down, down, depending on how you want to see that YouTube page.
Yeah.
We also had an MK tournament. It did not go. Well, it wasn't an MK tournament. Overall, it was a fighting game tournament. But it's just cool to see somebody dressed as Powerline, who is from holes, like JJ said, hold up the trophy at the end of the day.
Dude, is that sponsored by Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
How'd they get all these? That's really cool. No, first of all, yeah, if you don't know, I mean, you should know. Goofy Movie's the best Disney movie. If you want to talk about the only thing that could be even contested in my book is Emperor's New Groove. Those top two. But no, that's awesome. Cleo kind of sneaks in. He's a really one of those genuine gamers, like down to the core. Like he loves that shit. He's actually pretty cool to follow.
Well, if that was my TikTok, I would have done it. But on to the challenge.
Scale of 1 to 10. How'd you feel with this?
What's your go-to for pluckers?
Fire in the hole. No, I'm kidding. I don't get spicy wings normally, but spice doesn't wreck me. You know what?
It's around a 3 flame.
Okay, so salute. Hey, thank you guys for the stream. You know, I gotta dip into a little bit of the challenges too.
It's slow burn. I will say that. It's gonna take a minute.
I think it'll be fine.
That does.
Never mind.
Gonna suck a little bit. No, I'm kidding. It's not like the.
It's not the worst thing.
No. Actually, nah, that's chilling.
Yeah. I did sweat. I'm not gonna lie. It did make me sweat.
No, because that actually
Sweat,
tastes like something.
baby, sweat.
Dude, I did the fire in the hole challenge, and that shit did not taste like anything.
It's just straight lava.
Yeah. The cough definitely came from me taking a lot of that to the dome. Whew! That's a little bit hot.
Yeah. It takes a while to warm up, and then once it gets there, it's
We purposely did not do the bomb because it tastes bad.
Oh, I think Sam was saying that he took that at one of his previous jobs. Somebody just brought it to try, and he did it for fun.
I've tried the bomb too.
It's not fun. Shit's terrible.
But yeah, I only got a toothpick of the bomb, whereas this was an entire spoonful.
More,
Yeah, this one's
when I see that show,
You're not
they
wrong. This shit's
complain
getting
more
hotter.
about.
Yeah.
I was like, how's this shit getting hotter?
They complain more about the bomb than they do the final dab most of the
They
time.
always do, but I mean, after your tongue's burnt from those chemical burns that the bomb produces.
Yes, this is the player.
It's a good type of pain. It's not the.
Yeah.
It's just irritating enough to be like, damn, me speaking hurts my tongue.
Well, one of the other cool things that I will say that DreamCon brought us was that they revealed some black characters for the MK. I thought that was one because everybody's holding their cards in a little bit right now. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was really cool that they were like, well, we're going to go to this convention and show that we have 3 black characters coming out in the next Mortal Kombat. I thought that was dope.
I mean, hey, it's all about representation, and fighting games have always been one of the better sides of representation when it comes in video games. You don't usually have characters that all look the same. I mean, shoot, DNF Duel has my lovely brown Konaichi, and she's wonderful. But it's really cool just to see them come through and be like, hey, here are the characters. We're going to drop them. We want to do it at an event that we know will get everybody lit and live. And I hope that more companies just are not afraid to do that. I'm trying to think. What's a fighting game that doesn't have black characters in it? That's not
Doesn't have black characters in it. Skullgirls, maybe, off the top of my head.
The pony
How's
one?
Tekken?
Tekken has several black characters.
Yeah.
They've actually
Bruce
gotten
Leroy.
Yeah, I was about to say they've gotten blacker as they've gotten.
Actually, he's one of the coolest ones. You're right.
But on the note, because we're talking about fighting games, we could not do this show on the eve of the best, most memorable
My summer Christmas when it's not E3 because that doesn't exist anymore.
Evo is going to be this year. It's going to be this weekend. So we're going to do a quick run through of it. 8 games were chosen, as you can see, and it was kind of fun to see how.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the vintage or whatever, the retro video game tournament this year.
I remember before the world ended. I was actually hyped for Evo that year because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the vintage pick.
Yeah, people are really hyped for this Evo. I think that in general, whether you go to concerts or conventions like this, the last 2 years, if you go back 2 years ago, people are still super worried about COVID, and it makes sense. Mm-hmm. You go back a year ago, we're on some variation of COVID, and people are still not going out. And it's only now that people are feeling super comfortable, and that's why they have huge numbers for Evo this year.
Sorry, that look on my face of confusion was, I'm like, so Melty Blood got top line? Hell yeah, good on them.
But let me see if I can make this bigger. Yes, I can. Okay, cool.
This is impressive. It's still hot. I'm like,
yeah, no, it lingers for a bit.
I was like, damn.
So there's going to be eight games that you can be a champion of. Mortal Kombat had the least because that game's on its last legs and they haven't touched it in 2 years. 449. Melty Blood, who I thought it was hilarious because I had never heard of that game.
I've heard of it because he needs some. I'm good. No, seriously, like Melty Blood's kind of low key. That's crazy. That like it's top stream.
I want to download it, but I'd like because I've been doing a lot. I fell into an evil hole today to do research for this, and like
makes you want to play fighting games, don't it?
It does. Yeah. But Melty Blood has apparently this reputation where it's like you only played in alleyways and bathrooms, like.
It's like King of Fighters when we were growing up.
Yeah,
it's like only the shadiest gas station has King of Fighters.
You think of the trench coat guys. They're like, I got drugs and Melty Blood. Like, no. So, Melty Blood, if I'm not mistaken, it's in the camp of anime fighters. That's kind of similar to Unist, which like I love. Under Night, first of all, like the name is like Under Night Birth by Sleep. It's like some other shit, like random shit. No, in birth, whatever. Not the point. But that game is awesome. I've not had the opportunity to play Melty Blood, but when you look at the gameplay, it looks pretty heat.
From that, you have King of Fighters with the devil's number of players.
Fuck yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters, like you said, 838. A lot of people are expecting. I'm new to watching video game tournaments. I'm going to be tuning in. Apparently, there's a live stream for all you guys out there. A lot of people are expecting Marvel vs. Capcom to just be dumb hype. Like it's not as.
Yeah.
No matter what, there is when we're not talking about Infinite. 2 and 3 bring just an energy out of people that is unkiltered. If that had been Marvel 2 at the top, that shit would be number 2.
It kind of takes people back to like going to the lock-in parties at Peter Piper and just like, man, we can't take down this dude in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I mean, I used to pull up to what is it, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I'd be like, all right, cool. My dad gave me 8 quarters. Your boy's leaving here with 6. 6 because it costs 2.
I remember I went, like the first lock-in party I went to, there was this one dude, I think he was in high school, and this was like a junior high lock-in party. Either that or he failed a couple of grades.
He failed a couple grades. I know who you're
probably. Yeah. But we couldn't take him out. Like, he was just dominating that machine.
That's how you do it.
And I remember he got fucking pissed off at me because I hit him once. It was like, you ruined my perfect. I'm gonna punish you for that.
I mean,
But that's how it feels. But that's why I love fighting games.
I mean, yeah, I had a fun time. Like,
Yeah.
I got back in line. I was like, I'm gonna hit
Get
him
back in
again.
line. It's just like this wall that like sometimes you can't beat people in.
well, I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but the way that what I was researching is like anyone can register. If you win one match, it's like you did actually pretty good, honestly.
Go 3 and something in Evo, and you are probably you're already a different monster.
The next game that we got is Tekken with 1,500. Tekken also on its last legs because Tekken, the new Tekken comes out.
Oh yeah, I got to play the beta for that.
That will also be shown at Evo, like you can play
yeah.
it. And was at DreamCon too, I believe.
I'm really proud of this next game. I know it came out like recently, but I'm really glad that Strive,
Guilty Gear Strive,
Guilty Gear.
2004.
number 2. Now, if you haven't heard me, I love Strive. Strive was actually Guilty Gear XR2, Rev 2, excuse me, was a game that really taught me the fundamentals of true fighting game playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I want to say that like I've always been a fighting game enthusiast, but like genuinely hopping online, practicing, like doing the whole 9, just going all out, 100% Guilty Gear Rev 2. Not the best game to do that in because it is everything that you think of when you think of a fighting game. It is sweaty. It is all the very like your spaghetti hands in terms of your movements. But man, when I got Crash Course, like and just I spent hours. I remember just at night just practicing, playing, grinding it out. And so coming into Strive, I'm not to be honest, I'm not giving Strive its fair shake. I own it. I have the DLC. Like I mean the game, the character pass, everything. I'm just having a time. But it is still a lot of fun, a lot of a blast, and I'm so glad to see it at number 2.
Nice.
And then number 1,
Without a surprise.
breaking the record of most entries for a fighting game at Evo ever, Street Fighter 6.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
It is. I love Street Fighter 6. It is everything you want
I
in a
am
fighting
really
game
surprised because I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but I'm a big fighting game fan. So I've fallen into a hole on Twitter where I'm just getting a lot of Street Fighter news, and I'm like, these dudes are dissecting this game to the highest level of like.
Oh, yeah. That's fighting
every
games.
Street
Yeah. If you're not studying frame data, you're a new. No.
I saw a dude's channel while I was researching everything for Evo that all it was. Apparently, there's a Twitter out there where they find quotes of people that like whined about losing, and then because all the data is public, they went and watched their fight afterwards, and then they saw their inputs. It's like, bro, you didn't even block once. What the fuck are you complaining about losing?
So before my B-Day the other weekend, because I had some people who were staying with me out of town.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I'm gonna teach y'all a little something because I got all the fighting games. Unfortunately, they knew it was like teaching because I was not supposed to be playing that hard against them. But I was like, hey, like try out Street Fighter 6. And it's crazy how much it was just like, yep, you gotta press that back button to block. It's like, gotta just move that stick backwards. You don't think about it. Move that stick backwards. But it's interesting when you're seeing people learn for the first time and learn like even directly. It's like you get frustrated at first. Of course, you're like, why am I losing? And then we start to, it's moving past that frustration and accepting like the hardest thing with fighting games for people and the hardest, even for me, is that while you think you should be moving fast, it's actually about thinking slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
It's so hard to get over that. I'm not going to even act like I get over it sometimes. You have to be intentional in something where you're like, but I love fast moving fighting games. So it's really just about a lot of repetition, practice, and being used to being like, nope, I'm thinking about what I'm doing.
Right. Like, wait for it. He's going to do...
He's going to do something to fuck this up.
Right.
Unless it's Zangief,
He's
in which
gonna
case...
jump, and then I'm going to hit him with my anti-air, and then I'll sweep him. Like,
Yeah.
Juggle, do whatever you got to do.
Right, yeah.
But it's a lot of learning.
Yeah, this is the channel I was watching earlier, where it's just like all they're doing is analyzing people after they complained about other people being scrubs.
No
and you
way.
can see all the inputs that people are...
Yeah, you just got download, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. This has nothing to do with classic controls. I don't get what the classic control part is about.
Oh, people are also like still scrubbishly mad about classic modern control things.
I don't like modern controls.
I
I played a little bit. I haven't played Street Fighter 6, so I don't know if this is a true one-to-one comparison.
Yeah.
But in the Tekken 8 beta, they have their equivalent of modern controls, and they didn't tell me how to turn those fuckers off. And I was very, very upset for the first 3 matches, even though I won.
So I'll put it this way. Now that I've had more time in Street Fighter 6, I think we talked about this last time too.
Yeah.
So modern controls are not fun to use. I do not like using them. No problem against people using them, but
Right? Yeah, no.
I do not like using them. It feels like awkward. Feels like I am clipped. But there's some characters that are just better with it. Zangief, made for modern controls. Oh my god, made. Chun-Li, I'm not good with charge characters. My brain and charge characters don't work because you have to hold back and then do something.
A charge character, yeah, I would probably go modern controls.
That said, my main discrepancy with modern controls still right now is really and truly the reaction difference. Remember how I said, like, it's all about knowing what to do and then being able to put the right input. Sometimes when it comes to like modern inputs and things of that nature, let's say we're at the same caliber, you have a quicker pathway of reaction than I do, no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's tricky because it's like, oh, no matter what I do, like if we're at the same caliber, then you're going to have a quickest time for reaction, and you have less room to make error in your movement if you're hoping to do something quickly, right? Because I have to go through, and if I mess up one thing, then I'm doing a wrong movement. If you just press one direction, you have less room for error. So I think that discrepancy has to be ironed out a little bit more. But I think that outside of that, I have no real like beef against it. And shoot, I've seen some of the best players. Like I like right now. What I like with what modern has done is it's kind of created characters that are better with modern, better with classic.
In Tekken, at the very least, in the beta, the way they kind of make up for that difference in that, like, modern has less opportunity to mess it up, is that classic controls has more variety.
Yeah, and it's the same in Street Fighter.
Yeah, so since in the beta for Tekken 8, you only had like 8 characters to pick from. So out of the 8 that were there, I'm like, martial law's my guy.
Hell yeah.
He's the one I'm going. So with martial law, you get access to some more his more complex moves super quick with modern controls. But at the same time, it's like I can't set them up. Whereas with classic controls, it's like I can set up the combo and then finish it off with the complex move if I land it.
To be honest, like, I don't love the system around it, but I still think the way that, like, I like the way that kind of DBZ went the route where you have auto combos you can do, but it's a lot about breaking those into doing other things, and those movements kind of did a natural, like, helping. If you are button mashing, you can play DBZ, but if you're not, then you get a lot more different combos and different movements.
I feel like if you button mash against like anyone that's experienced like you're just like, well, I know you're not gonna play.
But there's sometimes once again, if you catch me on a bad day, or if you catch me,
Tommy hasn't beat you once.
That's not the point. That's not the point.
He hasn't had a bad day.
I said I had a bad day. But I think that I'm all about inviting more people to play fighting games. And what I don't want, and I'm hoping that we get to a further point in this, is much like how, hey, even before the game came out, let me tell you verbatim, I was not in love with modern, but after seeing it come out, I've been like a little bit more neutral. I still think Zangief is just an unfair character on modern. But outside of him,
he's not even like top tier on most rankings that I've seen.
No, he's not. But what I really like with this is I just wanted to encourage people to learn all the controls and be flexible on both fronts. Like I don't like I hope that like people who are modern aren't just like there is a benefit to knowing classic, and just in the same way there is a benefit to knowing modern and being able to switch your brain back and forth.
Does Street Fighter have an in-depth training thing?
Hell yeah, they have a really good,
that's awesome.
really good training mode this time around. Street Fighter checks off every box. To
That's
be honest,
awesome. Because I mean that's always been the hardest thing. Where it's not even like completely Street Fighter's fault, but it has the hardest inputs. Like to hit a super in Street Fighter is like left, right, up, down. Like it's a little bit more complicated than Mortal Kombat, where you just need to know the string of combos.
Oh man, hold up. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the name for you right. I'll show you a combo trial that for your ass.
But at the end of the day, Mortal Kombat did a really in-depth training thing where it's like, this is what you do with footsies. This is what, like, they had an in-depth, if you want to play Johnny Cage, do these 90 things and you can master this character. If you were a complete scrub kind of thing. That being said, nobody knows who's going to win Street Fighter because it's so new. Nobody knows everything.
There's no Daigo.
There's no Daigo. Well, Daigo is playing this year.
Right, yeah. But we don't know if he's the Daigo in this.
Also, Street Fighter is still fixing bugs. Like, this was 2 weeks ago when they entered Rashid. He had an infinite tornado for a second.
Oh, fuck a bunch of that.
It's a bug, but it eventually got patched out.
Well, Rashid right now is disgusting. I love him. Like, right now, playing him a bunch. If you want to know who I play,
he no longer has an infinite tornado. He just has 2 tornadoes that last a really long time.
He's just good. So right now, if you want to know who I play Street Fighter 6, if I'm maining, it's probably Ken.
I like how it broke
Yuri.
Twitter for a day that it was like, we don't know how to stop this infinite tornado. And then somebody figured out, with Chun-Li, if you just do this. Like,
that's not fighting. Fighting games are for, I like to say, it's almost like for people who like puzzles. It's
100%.
Because if you like puzzles, you'll figure out, like, really what you're doing is trying to break the puzzle of how to make these combos work, the timing, everything around it, too. But no, search up Google, UNIST, fighting game combo trials.
UNIST combo trials.
Fighting game combo trials, yeah. And then it should have a video from Punk God is number 2 on the search. Right? Wait, scroll up. No, you like the letter U, N. NIST.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it one word?
Yeah, one acronym. Then this Punk to God. Yeah, the fourth one. Just look at the top there. That is
What the fuck?
that's a combo trial for your ass, baby. I learned a lot of this game also helped me a lot. It's amazing. But yeah, you want to talk about combo trials, difficult combos. I got something for you.
It's just a quick rundown, and this is what I've learned of just by researching. So apparently people have like houses and crews kind of in these video game tournaments. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, like so Daigo he's really famous. Yeah. It's like, oh well, I'm not Daigo, but I'm part of his crew, so I'm pretty good too. Is how it ends up working out. So apparently last year at the Mortal Kombat tournament, it was just Chile. A group of dudes from Chile just came and stomped everybody. Melty Blood. There's not really a super favorite. I think they said some camp from Japan might take it.
Actually, speaking of which, I love that, like, when it comes to fighting games, like, it's just out of nowhere, South America just comes through every time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they are, like...
We are taking that that KOF tourney.
Well, when I was researching
Hispanics are coming in. No!
They said the KOF favorite was some Chinese camp.
Nah.
Which makes sense because there's a Chinese video bought everything about KOF.
Hey man.
China is in the same position that like Mexico was when we were growing up with KOF, where it's like KOF is just readily available. And it's easier to access in China than any other fighting game is. That's also why so many Latin American countries are good at KOF. It's just because like the Neo Geo was cheaper, one, and 2, you could swap out the cartridge. So if you were a business owner, you're like, I can either pay like a G for Street Fighter, and it's only ever going to play Street Fighter, or I can shell out $500 for this Neo Geo,
and then I can just
and then buy like 2 games.
Yep.
This was the most surprising thing when I was doing the research. The Dragon Ball Z fighters, apparently there's some dude from France that's just unstoppable.
Dude, but isn't that cool? It brings, man, I want more international platform. I just want more fighting games to be mainstream. It'd be awesome.
KOF is King of Fighters already. But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, no one knows who's going to win because that game is a decade old.
Right, yeah. Everyone's in.
What to answer these 2 questions that came through, which so simply too deep, we got you this time. Which old school or current fighting games do you wish they made a movie or TV series out of? None.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. I think there's a lot of like anime fighting games that I'd love to get like an actual anime. That'd be cool.
Oh, okay. I was like, when it comes to anime, like Guilty Gear is so nonsense plot-wise that it'd be hard to make anything out of it.
But it'd be fun.
They already kind of made the ones that I would want.
It's just like Guilty Gear is just rock. Like rock and random shit, baby. Like he's just like it's just like it's like, what is it? Smell of the Game is the name of the theme song. Like, What the fuck's the smell of the game? You don't ask questions. You're just in the smell of the game, and that's what you want.
I'm gonna go on a left turn just because JJ said they made a lot of them. So Street Fighter, MK are off the table. Killer Instinct be fun.
I mean, Mortal Kombat's not off the table. It needs to.
Mortal Kombat has had 3 movies and YouTube series. The YouTube series is actually probably the best of those things that got
the
made.
Scorpion animated movie is also really good.
Oh, I heard about that too. Also, Bug Weasel, I'm a giant MK fan. So I can't, Sam's gone, but definitely when MK comes out, I'm going to try to push for us to have a MK Street Fighter, just boys sweaty party here.
Games without items. It's like, you can't run away this time. I'd say there's probably a bunch of anime fighting games I'd want to do, like Under Night Birthplace, whatever, Eunice would be great.
I got one. It's technically an arena party fighter, but I want Power Stone.
Power Stone would be hilarious.
Oh, dude, I have a Dreamcast. We can play. I don't know how we'd hook it up actually, but we can do a Power Stone thing here if we want.
I want a Power Stone adaptation.
And then to another question, like, what games would I play with the fans? I will happily beat anyone's ass for free. It's not really like, do it for free. I'll, like, catch me on fighters. I'm rusty, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm rusty on fighters right now. But that rust was still enough to beat anybody if they want to play me on fighters. I'm kidding.
When I learned that anyone can, like, turn into, can compete in EVO, I was like, guys, if we raise enough money, thanks to you, the audience, we will send TJ to EVO.
To get his ass handed to him in round 1 and just be in Vegas. TJ, where'd you spend the fans' money? I got drunk on a slot machine because I got out in the first minute.
Oh, on that scrub chat thing that I was watching earlier, somebody was like, I only lost you because I was drunk. And I'm like, well, that's still on you, bro.
Dude, I play fighting games inebriated all the time. You catch L's, but I find like that's training on the hyperbolic time chamber. Really?
Right, yeah.
If you can win matches inebriated, then trust me, you
weighted clothing.
I'm not great at fighting is so technical and second by second that I can't win inebriated, but I can shoot people left and right. And
total aside, I play a lot of Valorant, and like everyone I play Valorant with knows it's like if I am under the influence, especially on edible arrangements, I'm like a different monster. It's so weird. It's like I'm in my zen. That's how it's like I can do these Twitch movements because I'm in my zen. What about the $1 million dollar Capcom Pro Tour? You have to qualify for that shit. Evo's friendly entry.
There is a rumor out there. Hope it's kind of true. the whole reason why Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is part of EVO is that we're about to get a Capcom game announced. We can't get Marvel vs. Capcom because Capcom doesn't have the rights to Marvel anymore, but like a Capcom All-Stars kind of game.
Ooh. That would be okay, look. I get it. Having a Marvel
do another Tatsunoko versus Capcom. That'd be fun.
I get it. People want Marvel vs. Capcom. Hey, love to have it too. Marvel just sucks. And Infinite was trash, so they're gonna use that as the example. And it's like, no, you just didn't give people what they want. Look, my dream game. I know it's not gonna happen, but the dream would be. And trust me, you will sell. You will make so. Look at me. You will make so much fucking money. Hear me. Hear me out here. Bring back pixel art. Bring it 2D. Keep it that way. Bring back all the fucking characters who got lost. I want Ruby Rose. I want the pirate. Yeah, come on. I'll bring her back. Bring back the cactus thing. Motherfucker doesn't even have a name. We want them all.
Armingo?
Bring her. Yeah, what is it?
Armingo.
Armingo? Yeah. Like just bring back all of the most obscure Capcom characters. I want characters from Project X in here. I want characters from Project X Zone. I want characters from Super Robot Tenshin. There's a long name towards that. It's a great RPG. Capcom knows that. Bring them back. We want that. No, fuck a Marvel vs. DC fighting game. Trash. I don't want no superheroes. I want all Capcom characters. Let's get it.
Well,
and that's only because actually on the DC side of things, if they're gonna make a fighting game, I still want more Injustice. I think that they do a good job with that, so they can keep that going.
I'm surprised by how decent to good the comic is for it just being like, hey, we gave Ed Boon our rights, make a comic out of this, and that comic ran for like 8 years. But on the note, because you guys were asking about video game adaptations, this is our last video game topic. JJ wanted to talk about this. I'm very curious about this. It is the latest video game adaptation that was made.
Oh, before you get into that, I don't know if did we talk about it last time? Shout out to Homelander and Omni-Man being in Mortal Kombat.
We didn't because it hadn't got announced.
Yep, we see you, Mortal Kombat. We see you. That was a good one.
They're definitely going to reveal some more shit at EVO, so there's that. But between now and then, let's watch this trailer for... or not this trailer. This clip was revealed about a month and a half ago, and I thought it was a really good introduction to what this kind of... how tongue-in-cheek this show is.
How about a little kill music?
No, it makes me uncomfortable. Stop playing this video. It makes me so uncomfortable.
Dumps like a truck.
Truck. That's like
What? All night long.
Let me see that thong.
Baby, let your booty go.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Girl, you want to show?
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Thong.
See, I'm uncomfortable. Stop. Made me uncomfortable watching that clip. But we had someone here who watched it, right?
yes, I watched the entirety of Twisted Metal.
Which, by the way, like, unrelated to how good or bad this show is... streaming service that are just like, let's throw the whole series out in the middle of a writer's strike is the worst thing you can do.
Didn't really advertise it well, and I don't think they gave trailers that sold it well because...
Oh no, yeah, the trailer completely turned me off to it.
Well, they fucking hid it for the most part, where it was just like, hey, we got a Twisted Metal show. Like, they would say it out of the side of their mouth. But now that people like it, like, it's either a cult following or it is really good. JJ will explain it. But I cannot stop getting ads where it's like, oh, you want to watch that shit? Buy Peacock, bitch.
Jump on this cock. Yeah, no. So me, my brother and my cousin talked about it on our podcast, Alpha Primos. Check us out on YouTube if you like me, Juan, and Paco. And I was the one like stick in the mud that was like, I don't know, guys. This looks like kind of cringy, kind of like they don't even know what the fuck Twisted Metal's about.
It looked worrisome.
It did.
It looked like it didn't have, like, it was trying too hard to be like The Boys without all the nuance that makes The Boys good kind of thing.
Right, yeah. But as we got to...
Yeah, check out Alpha Primos. Yeah.
But yeah, as we got to the end of our discussion, I was like, well, I was like brainwashing myself. I was like, well, you know what? Like,
I have free time. Maybe I should watch
it wasn't that. It was that, like, well, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Twisted Metal Black is kind of like 2000s to be adapted faithfully. And old school, like PS1 Twisted Metal is kind of 290s to be adapted faithfully. So, yeah, fuck it. Like, do whatever the hell you want with it. I don't care.
I mean, yeah, so I'm thinking about, actually kind of helped me think. Despite the trailers being what they were, we were gonna get on any other Twisted Metal shit. So
Right, yeah.
fuck it. If you're
That
gonna
was
do
also-
something,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those games that's so open-ended that, like, if they made a Bomberman movie, it could be, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
yeah.
If they made a Mega Man movie,
They already
you're never going to get another Mega Man game. Enjoy what you get.
I'd want a Mega Man.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thing too, where it's like, because the show does certain things like, all right, spoilers, I'm going to get into it. There is no tournament in the show. Whereas the games are all about a tournament. So
Yeah.
that's a knock that I gave to like the Mortal Kombat reboot, the movie, where it's like, dude, the entire series is about a fucking tournament.
You can't not have the tournament in that.
Right. But at the same time, it's like, when's the last time a Twisted Metal game came out on a major console?
And that's my whole thing. Like, Mortal Kombat is more of a grave sin because, like, literally,
It's never been dormant. Like,
no.
every 2 years we have a Mortal
Twisted
Kombat.
Metal, you could tell me that, like, yeah, I know it's in a tournament. You could tell everybody else, like, oh, there was a tournament. I just remember a clown and me blowing my friends up.
Exactly. So I gave it a pass on that note. But spoilers, if you make it to the end of the series, it's revealed if we get a season 2, tournament's happening.
So it's the MK movie, but better.
Yeah, but way better. This is it is a
I
very
am starting to like the MK movie in retrospect just because of Cabal. That dude's a stupid piece of shit. You'll love him.
I'm not riding with you on this one, Rusky.
I just think that Cabal was great in that movie. That's about
That's
it.
fair.
but no, this TV show is very campy and very tongue in cheek, and it knows what it is. There were like 2 episodes where I was like, you could have cut these down, and there were bottle episodes where the characters don't leave. So it was like, yeah, of course those are going to be like the most boring ones out of all of them.
Do they at least do a pretty, like, faithful job of bringing back some characters and making them at least the showcase of it? Like, I mean, it looks like, at least from the trailer, while I hate what they did there, out of context, like, hey, that was a character on the forefront, making sure it's well known and you know what's up.
Sweet Tooth totally steals the show.
Gotcha.
I want more Samoa Joe with Will Arnett voicing him. Like, both performances knocked it out of the park. Samoa Joe does a fantastic job with the physical performance of Sweet Tooth. And Will Arnett does a fantastic job making the vocal performance match the physical performance. Like, Samoa Joe is like giving it all he's got with like just his body movement and whatever. And Will Arnett's like throwing everything at it. Like, there were moments, Paco, when we were watching it, honestly, I only watched it because Paco and Juan were at my apartment. And I was like, well, it premieres this day. And they were kind of hyped about it. All right, let's watch it. And I'm glad I did, because I liked it a lot. But yeah, Paco didn't know that Samoa Joe wasn't voicing himself. Like, we had to tell him it's Will Arnett.
You can tell us we're all there from like a mile away.
Well, he didn't
Samoa
know.
Joe also has a crunchy voice. Like that.
Gotcha.
He's got like a similar vocal pattern. That's another thing that like helps out with it. Agent Stone also makes an appearance. Raven makes an appearance. Calypso makes an appearance. The Preacher from Twisted Metal Black makes an appearance.
That was my main on that one.
Who's Anthony Mackie's character?
He's John Doe. So John Doe is usually like a homeless character that's like a kind of a throwaway in all the games. Like, he's always there, but it's always someone different. And so it kind of makes sense for it to be Anthony Mackie, where it's like, well, yeah, you could put anyone in the John Doe role. It doesn't.
Does he at least stand out?
He does. Like, I really like his performance.
Is it about? So I don't know the plot here, but is it about like? Does it at least bring his character to come to his own? Like, what's happening with this?
Yeah. So, Anthony Mackie is the main character, playing John Doe. He got amnesia when the world ended. So, an apocalypse event happens in the show that you don't see in the past, and he was a little kid when it happened, and he was outside of the cities. So the cities like walled themselves off, and everyone outside is like, fend for yourselves. Like, we don't know what the fuck. He managed to survive up to adulthood by just driving. And so now he makes deliveries in between all the cities. That's the setup of the world, and that's all in the first episode. And so he's given an opportunity by Raven, played by Neve Campbell, to get inside one of the cities, get inside New San Francisco, I think. If you just make this one job where you have to go across the country all the way to Chicago, you make it, you bring that shit back to me, you're in. But turns out Raven has ulterior motives, and throughout the course of, the series, he runs into different characters like Sweet Tooth and Agent Stone, the Preacher, like all the folks.
I want to see that. I haven't seen actually a Preacher spoiler. I've seen that Twister is in it, and that was people analyzing the trailer, and I was like, oh, well, there's more in this than I thought there was, kind of thing.
But was that a question? It's like, so then being iffy on it, how many episodes did it take for you to be like, oh, there's something here?
Actually, after episode 1.
Really?
Like, all the cringy jokes in the trailer are in episode 1, but once you get past those, it does a good job of like giving you the vibe of the show. Like, the vibe is tongue-in-cheek and campy. So like once you make it past like they got a Foot Locker. Once you make it past that part, it's like, okay, I can vibe with this. Like, I got a better feel of what this show is going for than the trailer can deliver.
So about sorry, Darth Robot. So about that Discord,
Oh man, Sammy has been covering for you like every day. Where it's like, yeah, TJ's got it. It's coming. It's in the oven.
It's coming. Hey man,
Check is in the mail.
Look, I want this to be excellent, so that way we have a healthy community. If it's not out this weekend, y'all can find me. I'll put my address out there so you can dox me. And by my address, I mean Sammy's address. I'm kidding. No, I'm going to have it ready. It's been the bot setup stuff that I've been working on that's taken a little bit longer than I would have liked.
That's fun.
No, but I want it to be great. And also, if y'all guys have any channel names you want to throw them my way so I can throw them in there.
Well, that being said, I am going to check out this show. I'm probably going to do the free trial for Peacock and just run through it.
I think we have Peacock, or not we. I think I have Peacock, which by extension, pretty sure I can find a way. I don't know. Man.
You can. I'll give you my password.
so we'll figure it out. Between the entire cast, we have all the streaming sites.
I would say,
I know Tommy was really big on Peacock.
If you're doing the free trial for Twisted Metal and it turns out you don't like Twisted Metal, check out Poker Face. Poker Face is a fantastic fucking show.
Pretty sure Bel Air's on Peacock, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, watch Bel Air.
You like Bel Air? Tommy didn't like Bel Air.
I heard it's good.
Oh, you heard it's good. Okay, that's not the same.
Oh, no. I saw Poker Face. I can vouch for Poker Face. If you like murder mysteries, if you liked The Glass Onion, and what was the other one he did? The one before? The Knives Out.
Knives Out? Oh, wait, is it like that?
Yes.
Ooh, I love that.
It's not necessarily a whodunit some episodes. It's more of a how do I prove it or how to catch them.
Oh, well, I'm all about it. Is it at least fun? Like that type
It is fun, yeah. I like it a lot.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with the actual anime of this episode.
We have anime on this show?
What?
We just get... It's a super exciting time to be excited about video games right now.
And anime. Catch us soon.
Hey guys, we're back with the anime portion of the Animexcellence, which should be the longer part. We just kind of drop the ball once in a while.
Hold up. Y'all guys tried this on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, these are honey sriracha Skittles. I'm trying them for the first time. I'm a candy fiend. So we'll see.
You are the candy person in this part.
I hate that. Why is that spicy? It's that Mexican shit. Ah! I like it and hate it. I like, actually,
It's not bad.
kind of turn around on the second one. So,
I think the grape one.
We'll try the Red Hots if you want now.
I already tried the red. Actually, Dear Gia, come here with 5 gifts. Sorry, I'm choking. Honey Sriracha Skittles. Sorry, Gia, coming in with 5 gift subs. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry JJ eliminated you, Tina.
Me too.
All right, let's get a couple things out the way. How direction you want to go on this, or can I just spout my bullshit?
Oh, what do you mean bullshit?
No, like I said, well, what show are we talking about first?
So between the last show and this show, we didn't get to talk about the end of Hell's Paradise, and I feel like that's the shortest one because we literally our last episode was
one episode.
Yeah, we were on episode 10.
Sure.
I thought Hell's Paradise it's the slowest burn I've ever had in a season of anime in a long fucking time.
It takes its time.
It does, yeah.
We're literally you go through a whole season and the last episode is like, oh yeah, we can finally fight these guys.
Yeah, it's literally the power system does not get introduced until the very end, and I love that because it's this. The manga was awesome because it's really like we can't do shit for a very long time, and even when they do get to do shit, trust me, it's far from being solved.
Well, by the time they learn to fight them, there's still at a point where 85% of the people they brought to the island are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, I really like a mild spoiler comment that Hell's Paradise is the first show I've ever seen where, oh, that character with blonde hair is obviously going to live throughout this whole series.
Nope.
No,
Immediately.
look.
Well, no, not immediately. They gave you just enough time for you to love them and like them.
yeah. Look, unless you a ninja, your lifespan ain't. Like, right now, it's ninjas and everybody else. It's like ninjas have their shit figured out apparently in this universe. Everyone else is just kind of like.
Well, there's that old samurai dude, but I did think that it was funny that like Naruto, the blonde-haired person, is obviously the most important.
Find the anime pro tag.
Find the anime pro tag. Even the dude with the most belts gone.
How it works. No, I really like that they got to the main sticking point, but in season 1, which not going to spoil it too much, but there was another layer of intrigue that happens in that last episode to lead you into okay, well now what the fuck happens, right?
Yeah.
And I don't. There's not a lot of shows that take their time and just kind of cook throughout a season anymore. It's really cool that they just were able to do that, and I feel like Hell's Paradise kind of got a little bit of flack because I think that it looks great. I think it looks fine. Like the art style is it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's yeah, sure. It's not like bombastic like some other shows are right now, but it's by far no means bad. And outside of that, like. It's a lot deeper than just it. Once I tell people, Hell's Paradise is not an action shonen. There's action in it. It's really just a love story. And when you get through some of the,
it's not painted that way as season 1. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not. But when you get to when you get to the core of it, it's a man who's like, I just want to see my wife. That is it. That's my whole motivator and driver. And it's a really great depiction of a platonic friendship as well because, he's supported by someone who's like, hey, I want to see you succeed. And that's cool.
I'm really actually glad that this is the first anime I've seen in a while where it's like, oh, the hot chick, just a friend.
Yeah. Just a friend. And that's totally fine. Yeah, no, I mean,
there is no
season.
romantic chemistry between those two. They're just like literally like, no, I just happen to be a woman, and everything's written really well, honestly.
And they maintain that, and it's probably one of the strongest strokes where it's just like, nope, you never feel like there's some romantic tension.
Right? Yeah, I never get the like, can you feel the love?
It's very much like a supportive, healthy relationship.
Well, that's your phone, not mine.
But it's a very much a healthy and supportive relationship. So it's just one of those things where it's just cool to see.
I am excited that this is already been greenlit for a season 2. I am sad that Chainsaw Man has not been greenlit because it didn't do great in Japan.
So only the Blu-ray sales didn't do good.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, the show itself like did numbers, and when it was premiering, it was a hit. It's just the home media sales aren't where they wanted them to be.
And the other problem with it. Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's still gonna get a season 2 because Mappa kind of self-funded that.
Oh, it was. I'm just saying it hasn't been greenlit as of today. That's
Mappa's doing its thing. They can afford to if they really wanted to. My discrepancy with Chainsaw Man season 2 is that they would not bring in the director for season 1 if they did a season 2. And I think that this director from season 1. So look, man, hot take. Chainsaw Man, the manga, is just It's a 7. It's a 7 all throughout. It's okay. The anime does a lot to elevate it, from beautiful screen cinematography shots. Like you could tell someone really put a lot of love with a lot of merit.
They added scenes in the anime that weren't in the manga
to help bring life to a lot of the storytelling, and it doesn't feel like your typical anime, which is a problem for some people because the other inverse of it is I felt like Chainsaw Man was just as bombastic and crazy. It just did its down notes very well. Yeah. People just want the more psycho and all the things that kind of thrown that stick at the wall.
You think they want the crazier aspects of it? Because what I like about Chainsaw Man is it's just an allegory for a person that wants them to have human connection.
That's the essence. But once again, it's weird. It's like two camps. It's either you really love the anime or people who are like, that's not Chainsaw Man for me. And to be honest, I said, man, it's a 7 source material at best. So whatever you want to do to it, I'm cool with it. I was really liking what they did with the anime. Made me watch it all the way through. But Mappa's gonna do what Mappa wants to do. They'll be fine. They're too busy prepping for they really, we know what they were prepping for. It's what's coming out right now, and that looks glorious. But we'll get there. I'm going to kind of sprinkle this in because there won't be a good time in the show before we get into the other anime. Really, one of the other anime of the summer season is My Adventures with Superman, which is actually great.
It's really good. I like it.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I have a friend that Spider Mike. He was on our episode of Guardians of the Galaxy. He's trying to get people to watch it. He probably like me is tired of being hurt. Like I fell in love with the show and it's gonna get canceled.
It's been guaranteed for 2 seasons. Guaranteed. They're giving me 2 seasons for sure.
But like his post, because he did a review for one of us.net friends of the podcast. Hey, please go see TMNT. Like I want this to get a sequel so bad. And he said kind of the same thing for Superman because Tommy famously hates Superman.
I don't give a fuck about the guy. This is the first iteration that I was like, I get it. Yes, maybe because it has sprinkles of anime in it. Fuck you. But let me live. But Clark is they just have him being a himbo. and it's awesome. And it's just like it's showing the actual adventures of him becoming Superman in a very creative way, and they nail the romance.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love Lois Lane. I was sitting there, I was like, please.
It's something that very few Superman centric media do. Lois falls for Clark, not for Superman.
And it's clear. And it's
right,
just,
yeah.
And it's genuine connection. They're flirty. They're not cringe flirty. They're just two people who you can obviously tell like each other. They actually move past things pretty quickly. Does it take Lois long to figure out? I mean, really, it shouldn't take anyone long to figure out Superman's Clark. And she's just and she
wait a minute.
Spoiler alert, she literally takes glasses and draws it on someone's face and it's just oh, well shit. And then she starts to notice and they move that plot line along the way. But no, just wanted to give it a shout out because it's in a weird camp. It's on Adult Swim, but it's a Saturday morning cartoon.
Well, Adult Swim's also dying, so it's a double hard place to be. It's
super tough because you're gonna read Adult Swim and you're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be this, and this, and it's not like Harley Quinn. It's not like something like that. It's true blue, lovely Saturday morning cartoon energy. And it brings me nothing but joy vibes. And Jimmy's black, which goes into another thing we've talked about before, but I like this Jimmy.
Number 1 entrant in a Royal Rumble. No, on the note of just Adult Swim just kind of struggling, which is sad to see. Like they just closed down their studio for one. The other thing is just kind of like with Rick and Morty doing what it did. Like at the end of the day, it's like they don't have a flagship, which they've always had some form of. Metalocalypse, who had is going to have their last movie. Rick and Morty was it? Aqua Teen was it at some point? Like they just don't have a flagship right now. That it's just kind of like people are expecting at any moment. Like Adult Swim's just going to end up like Toonami in 2008.
I mean, I'm sure they'll figure it out, but it's been in a tough spot. And they really don't have that. Yeah, they don't have that knockout punch of a show to really rejuvenate some things. But I'm hoping that that's why I want to give some more attention to it. I do enjoy the show. I hope that they throw out more. Like, if they were to give me more superhero shows that just took some chances like this, and Serenity, this is, sometimes I get to beef with you a little bit, but I totally get where you're coming from in terms of they do take a lot of liberties in terms of how they present villains, and it's a lot more tech forward. It doesn't bug me too much because,
at the end of the day, it's an adaptation.
It's an adaptation, and there's so many ones that just come out and that are
I already know the origins of the classic villains, or even the way they were debuted in the 90s cartoon or whatever.
And they've done them a pretty fair amount. And so it's just cool. It's hey, they want to go anime and they want to go a little tech with it. That what is it? I think they had Parasite in this last episode.
Yeah.
100% tech and mech influence.
So, I'm kind of the other way where it's I can understand where Serenity's coming from, where it's this isn't the origin of how these villains came to be. It wasn't tech based or whatever. I'm having fun trying to figure out what villain they're premiering. I'm having fun trying to she's Livewire, or she's Killer Frost.
And it's just kind of this puzzle of okay, these are how they're getting their power, and what's happening to, because I think what's cool is sometimes they're creating yeah, sometimes it's cool just to see how, because Superman's not just he's creating some of these villains too.
Yeah,
spoiler alert, it's the first episode. Livewire kind of, but then after the situation, 100% creates the villain. So stuff like that, and that's kind of cool to see. But yeah, I'm not really off put by it too much. I like that they're leaning into it, and Clark having some dope ass anime glow eyes is kind of cool. I mean, it makes Superman cool.
I'm actually super on board with people doing something new with old characters all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they do, so everything around the show is new, but Clark and Superman is excellent. That is what they, they've gotten to the truest point of what the character is supposed to be, and it feels like it.
Anime Batman, that series that came out, that looked dope as shit. I didn't get a chance to see it. Yeah, the ninja one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Or the Isekai. The Suicide Squad Isekai.
But I love having new twists. I've never been bothered by no, things need to stay the original way where they were. And I'm if that's the case, then Superman couldn't even fly. In his original comics, leap over a tall building is his power, not flying.
Yeah.
Also, Superman has so many powers. I don't, cause some people are oh, he's getting bruised. I'm I need him to have some stakes. I need to figure this shit out.
They added flying in the radio serials.
See?
Because it was just easier to say, oh yeah, he flew over there, than to say Superman jumped a bunch of times.
But like Serenity said, and that's a personal preference, and that's totally fine. It's I like more magic based versus tech based,
Okay,
which
I
is
can
totally
see that,
fine.
yeah.
And it's I
The
don't
problem with magic in every comic setting,
no rules. Rules.
there's no rules, so the writing is all over the place. Where sometimes Constantine could kill Superman, sometimes he can't even hurt the Joker.
I really hated that fucking Constantine movie.
Magic characters get
Apocalypse
gypped.
War.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
I mean, and it's not just DC. Sometimes Wakanda could kill Thanos. I mean, not Wakanda. Sorry. Sometimes the Scarlet Witch could kill Thanos. Sometimes she can't really even like hurt the army.
It's inconsistent, but I'm hoping, and here's my point. I'm hoping, because magic is like the one thing that universally is known that it's Superman's weakness, like he can't do shit against it.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping if they do bring that in, it's like a knockout. Like it's just like oh, that's an actual problem for him, right? That's a no-brainer. Like everything else he could kind of work through like the love of friendship and anime. Not this. That's magic. I'm beating his ass. So that's what I'm hoping they're saving it for a little bit.
That's a perfect example. Sometimes Shazam can really like just knock him down.
Into him, just
I'm
gonna squeeze you and say Shazam bunch.
Yeah. Sometimes it tickles. Like it really depends on who's writing the comic at that point.
Yeah, and, don't get me started on. I don't get my hate boner for too many adaptations of the same shit in comics, but I am liking. I want to give it some love because it's 100% something that just makes me smile when I get to watch it. Truly.
Well, completely different, but there is kind of a Superman in this thing. Tina Uchiha's least favorite thing that we're going to talk about today, Jujutsu Kaisen, has its own kind of Superman.
So I did not watch today's episode.
Oh, I watched it.
It was actually the end of the arc that
I've read it, so there's no spoilers for me. Don't worry. That's
It was
it.
the end of the Odin arc.
Stop.
That's it. First of all, we're gonna gush about Jujutsu Kaisen because no matter what side of the fence you're on, shit looks beautiful. Yeah. It is wonderfully animated. You could tell where Mappa's love is. They were like, we're not fucking this one up.
There were some shots and some pans in that first episode where I'm like, oh, you spend money.
They spend money. They spend money. And I love Toji, baby. He comes in, he says, he says the answer to our problems is a gun, nigga.
Can't detect me if I don't have any cursed energy.
Yeah.
I like that everything about Toji is just like, all right, because I can totally relate to a dude that's like, I do an expensive, I do a good job once in a while, and then I just eat good food for the next 2 or 3 hours.
He's just like, I
Never thought of this before, but yeah, it's like, all right, this paycheck's kind of light. Top ramen.
he just likes
Paycheck comes through, spinach on my top ramen.
he just likes gambling and he's just like gambling and eating. But when he's on the screen, I genuinely like. He's like, I don't dislike any of y'all. I'm here for a job, but I gotta kick y'all's ass if you want to get in my way. Motherfucker doesn't even remember his son's name half the time. He's like, shit.
I do think it's funny that this show just drops you in this middle of this past story. They don't say it's a flashback.
Right.
They don't do anything.
I love that that's the way the manga does too.
I was thinking to myself, I should probably go back and like rewatch the last 2 episodes of season 1 so I know where I didn't. And I'm kind of glad I didn't because it's like,
what?
it doesn't fucking matter.
It does not tee it up at all. What they're doing is, and you'll get the context later. This sets. There are elements from this that help you understand the next arc, which is the big bombastic. It's gonna be some shit you ain't ever seen before. It's awesome. But I just love that they had they show the most powerful character in the show, and they show the origin of like why Gojo's Gojo, right? He just got high one day and said, I figured it out, y'all. Now you're fucked.
Instead of shrooms, it was just like almost dying made me realize the meaning of life, and now I can do anything.
He's literally like, damn, I'm the one who stands above the world. I am the honored one, baby. But no, seriously.
My power is infinity. And when you almost killed me, I got to see infinity. So, like, you gave me a cheat sheet, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
And as someone who knew how this setup was going to happen, I still think that even for 5 episodes, to get the emotional payoff, to get all of the delivery they want to do and execute on, they did a wonderful job of like you have to spend a short amount of time with some of these characters, but you get everybody and you get kind of the weight of what's happening. And even like the villain, like he's not like I said, you're like, he's a dick, but you're still like, oh no, I get why you'd hire this guy for a thing. And he's like Batman with prep time. He's literally like...
But literally what he does in the most brutal fashion. I don't know if I've seen a brutal beating that way. I mean, he survives, but I don't know if I've seen a brutal in anything. Like, I've seen a lot of samurai movies, a lot of...
he said, I'm killing someone.
I've never seen someone stab through the throat and then the knife comes down.
And then he goes on your leg and he's like... he's like...
Gotta make sure.
The worst part is he's like, you didn't cut off my head. It's like you're a zombie?
Thanos, you should have gone for that.
No, I love... speaking of which, like... you get to see the relationship of Gojo and Getzo, and you're like, whoa, they used to be like the best of friends.
Right, they used to be tight.
And
That's
Geto
why
used to be
I thought I
cool.
was watching the wrong thing for a little bit when I watched episode 1. I was like, wait, that guy was on the other side last season.
And that's true, but you even get where he's coming from, because he was actually he's the one who's like, nah, we're doing good, like we're trying to do our best for people, and then there's just a situation that happens, and he's just like,
does it even fucking matter?
yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, they were literally, there's been so much of a philosophical breakdown by black people on YouTube that was like, there's literally a role reversal going on where the dude that was like, no, we need to protect the weak, ends up on the other side.
Yeah.
The dude is like, no, that's a complete fucking waste of time. Ends up on the
and it's just a matter of, I love what they've done with this first part. I don't love...
Oh, I like the way that Bug Weasel put it. 1 HP, baby!
Bro, the music was playing in the Pokemon battle. But no, it's seriously like... It looks glorious. The sound is so good. There's some shots that are just absolutely mind-bogglingly pretty. And ultimately... I think it delivered on whatever, like, people have been waiting for JJK, didn't know what to come through, and you get to see some incredible action, you see some dynamicism, and you just see characters from different sort of routes and pathways, and I can't wait. And what's crazy is, people just think, like, oh, this is fantastic, but they don't know what's coming, and I'm like, oh, y'all don't get it. Y'all just don't know.
I mean, I don't know where JJK is going. I actually only know one spoiler, but it's not dealing with any of the characters we've seen so far. But I'm like, the vibes that this dude has, like, this is somebody that would be threatening in a John Wick movie, but like basically killing Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you here?
So I still want to let that happen, but I love that. Like I said,
I just like him scratching his head.
yeah, he's scratching his head with a gun. He's like, oh. You ask why? Nigga, I gotta get paid. Like, that's why.
He doesn't even say that. He's like, oh, well.
I jumped over the obstacle you put in my way.
Yeah, he's like, I killed him. But I also love, like, no, he's literally like, oh, they even asked us, like, man, what happened to such and such person? I don't know. She could be live, dead. I don't know.
She actually wasn't on my attack or anything sheet.
She wasn't in my itinerary. So,
I don't give a fuck. Bro, I think
if she's strong, she might make it.
he beats the spoiler alert. He doesn't just beat one person's ass. He goes through and he beats the other person's ass, and then it's like, I can't kill you. Thank your parents. God, it just he's like, you lucky you got this shit. I can't kill you because I don't know what'll happen. So he just kicks him in the face.
It was more so that, like, I gotta get back.
Have a good night, Serenity. Make sure to send me a friend request just because you were like, you need to take me out and show me the better parts of going out with somebody that loves people, kind of thing.
And Serenity, as always, we're gonna always have our back and forths, but love you for coming through. And yes, I'll boost your comics any time of the day. You're right. Boost you. But yeah, no, I've had a great time with these first 5 episodes. Don't love that you have an entire month break going through, but hey, it's all good because I know that good shit's coming along the way.
Doesn't piss me off as much as Record of Ragnarok being like, we got a new season. I'm like, it's one fucking fight. Fuck you guys so fucking much.
It's true, but it's okay. I don't.
You should not never call 5 episodes. I don't care what you're writing ever a season.
Hey,
The Idol.
that needs less episodes. Hey, look, you could have just.
There's a mythical 6th episode that HBO is like, nah, fam.
We're good. No, look, with Record of Ragnarok, it only exists in the manga for me, so don't worry. I said, nope, I'm good. I'm
gonna have to start reading that.
No, just read it. Just trust me. Just read it. It's all. You'll be mad when you get to like if you read it through, you'll be like, damn. I'm gonna fuck this shit up, huh? They didn't fuck it up, but like it's alright. But like the artwork is really good. It's kind of like blue. It's kind of like Blue Lock.
Like, I mean, we can talk about it at this point because every fight, we're not talking about the score or what's going on overall because the anime itself rarely talks about the score or what's going on.
It's like, nah, you didn't come here for math.
But on the manga, as far as I know, because I'm getting spoilers on TikTok because they're like, oh, you like this shit, huh? Here's more. Apollo is fighting Leonidas, and Leonidas looks like an average like dude that shops at Bass Pro Shop.
Who was it just that happened?
Tesla. and Beelzebub.
Which was dope, and they respect each other at the end. And Tesla's like, "Ha ha, I'm smart, mechs." Spoiler alert!
You thought these fucking orbs I made for reading were the only thing?
No, he's actually. They make him way cooler than he should be, to be honest.
Bro, this is what Leonidas looks like in the fucking manga. Like, he's like, I'm going to Bass Pro Shop, and then I'm going to fight the sun god.
What up, Elijah? Yeah, Record of Ragnarok, a little bit of that. But
it's not on our subject, Elijah. But that being said, the thing that I thought that I've fallen in love with is it's just we're going to show different parts of humanity because I remember Sam like looking at the list of who was going to defend humanity.
And it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
Even if you're not interested in manga or anime, you're like, why the fuck are these people fighting? It makes you curious.
But like he was like, what the fuck is Nikola Tesla going to do? And it's just
Against Gilgamesh.
Okay.
Let me tell you, he puts up a great fight. He had some shit that I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. No, on paper.
Humanity's only sorcerer or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, kind of, actually.
Yeah. I'll give him that one, yeah.
No, look, I'll tell you what. No, Elijah, I was going to say that. We've already had to talk about it. But yeah, if you had told me that literally Adam from Adam and Eve was going to be the best character, not just in Record of Ragnarok, but across a lot of anime and manga, I would have told you you're a fool. And that's not something I'll tell you a fool about because Record of Ragnarok did it. Made Adam amazing.
Onto something that you're a big purveyor on, and I haven't listened despite doing the show for 2 years until like this summer. You're a big pusher on like you should really get into One Piece.
Yes.
I tell you, it's that good shit.
I'm saying there's a writer's strike. There's an actor's strike. Sounds like there ain't gonna be shit to watch for a while.
Well, I'm burning through this, so that's the problem at this point.
Come on, before we get to you, because I want to give you your time. I do. JJ, where you at?
980.
Oh, you so close.
I am. Like, no one called me this weekend.
Look. Okay, let me get on my soapbox. I get to do one a year.
I'm already on the assault. Like I can taste.
You can taste it. Look, so when
even Elijah knows what's going on.
Literally, when the best episode of our entire fucking century comes out this weekend and next weekend too, I'm gonna be there. I've been waiting for this shit. I'm ready. My body's fucking ready. One Piece is fantastic. I'm so glad more people are getting on the train. I'm not getting
literally where I'm at. I'm at the train.
Yeah, you're on the train. Hey, don't worry.
He's on the C train.
But I told people because it was an argument. I had back and forth. Like we were talking with Maggie in the chat. And I said, no, I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm not telling people to watch One Piece. I will tell the show people. Yeah, of course. When I say go watch One Piece, One Piece it's inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It will find you.
Well, the fucking memes stuck to me to one point, and then it was just kind of like, all right, let me see what else is going on. And
it was a fucking TikTok sound, and people didn't know where it was from.
dude, the amount of things that are from One Piece that I didn't know was a reference to One Piece is amazing.
Yeah, you've learned. It's like when you get on JoJo the first time. You're like, shit.
Shit, I didn't mean to hit that
Liberation. Drums of Liberation.
Be careful. I said, don't want to show the fans. I mean, everyone here knows.
No, I'm trying to show what I sent to JJ earlier. That was just like there was some soccer stadium that just like incorporated
Buck wild.
and I'm just kind of like amazed by the power of anime and how far it went. But I'm trying to find it. But I like literally. Like I didn't know that was a fucking One Piece sound.
So, Marcos, kind of getting because where are you at? You said you're in Ennis Lobby, right?
Yes.
Are you finished with Ennis Lobby? Are you in the middle? What just happened?
Right now, what just happened is Luffy is yelling at Robin. By the way, Luffy went from like
So spoiler alert, kidding. You saw the first. You saw Shonen Luffy. You saw Gear 2, baby.
No, it's not even that. That part is awesome. But I meant Luffy is still like the dumbest lovable dude that I've ever met in my life. Not met, but in a literary way where he's just kind of like, nah, she's cool. Like talking about Robin. Like, nah, she's cool. Like she's gonna be a good person. She just tried to kill you for.
She had her reasons.
I love the way she joined the crew where it's like, yeah, I was going to kill myself and you took that away from me and now I have nowhere to go.
And he's like, that makes sense.
Good point. Welcome aboard.
And no, I think this is one of the you're seeing because I think a lot of people are like, Luffy's not exuding captain energy. Don't worry, he does.
Oh, he does in that arc.
He does in that arc. And right now, that's a captain for your ass. Did you see his new fit? Yeah, that's a captain for your ass.
I just saw him give the helmet to Frankie, the samurai helmet. He's like, here, this is more your style. I'm not going to wear it. I want to look like a pirate.
You want to look like, pirates wear this. And I'm like, you mean pirates wear swagoo? Woo! But, Marcos, can you take us along your journey? And where was One Piece's hook for you?
The first. Oh, by the way, I found the soccer game real quick. Let me play.
No, I think what's crazy is what people don't realize is, first of all, the country of France is like Mexico with Dragon Ball Z. They fucking love One Piece. The biggest theater in the fucking world. In the fucking, like, in all of the EU is talking about, yeah, we got some shit lined up for One Piece just for this shit. Like, Ichiro Oda to the French president, like, has custom drawings. And he's like, we thank this man. He's one of the geniuses of our time.
It was actually Aesop that hooked me for the weirdest part. Usopp, yeah. The part where he challenges the dude to a shooting duel of, like, who can hit the bell kind of thing. And I was just...
In Logtown?
Yeah.
That's a filler. Oh my god!
But it was just kind of a thing where the filler makes sense. Like it's not dumb filler. Like
early one, I was. There's a certain time, but like early One Piece, yeah, filler totally warranted.
Well, by the way, like as far as I've seen, there's only been one time where it's just like it just repeats episodes for like earlier in the season kind of thing, like why they're part of Luffy's crew. But for the most part, the filler makes sense 99% of the time. Where like the whole thing is that we got to get to Robin. Oh shit. two of the characters are fucking stuck in between two buildings and shit. And they spent 6 episodes dealing with that. But it makes fucking sense.
That's not filler, actually. That was canon. No, I think it's so as you kind of gotten along, and I guess that was the point. Where was, I guess, because how do I put it? You got through East Blue. When did you start just drinking episodes?
So that part was one of the parts that hooked me very much, where it was just kind of like, it makes logical sense, and they've elongated the story of rescuing Robin from, like, I don't know, cut it in half, basically. They elongated it by 8 episodes, but it logically made sense. There was no point of, like, all right, we're going back to Goku powering up for 2 episodes kind of thing.
Yep.
It was literally just kind of like, no, dude, these dudes are fucking stuck, and it makes sense that they're stuck. I don't exactly like the solution to it. Oh, yeah, dude, I can just fucking alpha out at this at any moment. But there was an element of, like, it logically made sense and you feel the tension the entire way. Like, it wasn't... I get what you were saying when you were telling
It's
Maggie.
earned.
Yeah. It's like, if you burn through all these episodes, because I think at this point, I'm halfway-ish. You just wish there's more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, everything is earned every step.
Bro, when
of the
I
way.
catch up, I'm starting over. I can't imagine
Elijah, we're not. I'm gonna give him the hard truth when he gets to. Spoiler alert: the time skip, which he knows is happening. Don't worry. Yeah, that filler shit changes, but don't worry. I'll tell you how to do that. I'll tell you how to handle that, and I'll give you some guides on that. I do not like one pace. I think it cuts out too much because there's some things that anime, like, they elongate on a little bit just to make it a bit better, and they add context and they cut some of that out.
Here's the funny thing, because when I went to Toy Joy to try to find us sponsors and shit for the giveaways that we had, I saw spoilers for One Piece. Mm-hmm. And I told JJ about it, and he's like, well, those spoilers don't really bother you, because by the time you get to that point in the season, you're actually going to probably forget that you saw those spoilers.
What type of spoilers did you? What did he see? Did he see stuff from now?
Oh, he didn't tell me what happened. But I'm just telling him from experience. It's like, yeah, bro,
You won't remember.
I heard about Wano way before I got to Wano.
Well, at this point, like, I know about Whitebeard being a menace. I know.
Oh, that's not a spoiler. Don't worry. You want to talk about some thug ass energy?
I think it was Frankie, I believe. Like, I see one of his later forms, kind of.
Time skip Frankie.
Yeah, time skip.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it didn't bother me, because at this point, it's just kind of like everything will get there kind of thing.
But and that's what I was saying. I was like, you can watch all of the little clips, and that's what I was trying to articulate. It's like, it really is about tackling that journey. And by the time, like, people are like, it's 1,000 episodes. I'm like, I'm at that 1,000 episodes, and I'll tell you, everybody who hits this point is literally like, fuck, I have to read this shit weekly. Like everyone wants to like be in a place where they could watch and read more One Piece, because lo and behold, what I think that some people forget, and what I think One Piece does very well, is, like, manga is still a story. It's still like, it's an author writing a novel almost, right? And One Piece feels like that, because you can tell he's put thought and not everything's perfect, but he puts thought and a lot of intention behind everything that's going on and what's going on in those different scenarios.
Dude, we got 2 first-time chatters in the fucking thing that were motivated by One Piece. Game World Intel. The moment Nami was slicing her Arlong tattoo off, legit broke me. Oh, that's when I got hooked.
Arlong Park?
No, not Arlong Park. Chomper's backstory.
Oh, Chomper.
Drum Island?
Drum Island. Dr. Hillu.
The doctor. And I was just kind of like, I like this pirate flag because pirates are free to do whatever they want, and I want to free the world from the sickness of the mind. And I was like, all right, dude, you got it.
It was Arlong Park for me. I'm right there with
Well,
I mean, I liked Syrup Village a lot.
I mean, you're alone on that.
I like Syrup Village a lot because I felt like I've experienced the Captain Kuro in my life.
That makes sense.
But it didn't hook me. I was like, I'm in for this, and I dig it. But Arlong Park was where it's like, all right, you got me by the short hairs. I'm in.
I want to say Baratier.
Baratie.
Baratie for me. If you don't, full disclosure, Sanji's my number one Straw Hat. It's gonna stay that way for the foreseeable future.
Really?
I love Sanji. Sanji's awesome.
Sanji had this really powerful moment. I forgot what fight that he just refused to hit a woman, basically.
Oh, you've gotten to that part.
Yeah.
Damn. Then like. Oh yeah. Okay. So you haven't seen the conclusion of anything after that, or
No.
You haven't seen what Sanji can do. I was like, if you can't tell, this is the power of Arc. Niggas pulling out shit from their ass. But no, Sanji's my favorite character for a lot of reasons, and you can obviously tell. It might not seem like it now. It's Oda's. He's Oda's favorite character by a long shot.
By the way, I love that they reasonably write people off of being like, yeah, that dude was asleep. That dude just ate too much, was asleep. And they'll write people out in another way where it's just like, Luffy wakes up and he's mad that Zoro is beating up the people that are legitimately trying to hurt him, but they gave Luffy food. So now Luffy wants to beat the fuck out of Zoro. Like the amount of time that they're just fighting off on the side.
It's a lot of really it's all of those smaller moments that you'll be having callbacks to and you'll think through, and trust me, pay attention, because Oda lays eggs, paths, things in Enies Lobby are happening are relevant to the manga right now. It's dead ass. Things in Enies Lobby are relevant to the manga at chapter 1000. God, like 80 something, 89, 88. Which, I said that 1088 chapters.
This was a little bit far ahead, so I didn't care that I got spoiled. Sorry for you guys a little bit, because this might make sense to some of you that are more in the middle. But it's just like, I saw a spoiler on TikTok that was just kind of like, this girl with pink hair dies over somebody dying in
I saw that one too, and I was like, I don't know what he's talking about yet, but I'm gonna pay attention.
But like randomly, she's crying in season 10 or something, and they go back to that 5 seasons later, and it's just like, well, she was crying because of blah blah blah. Like, she actually didn't give a spoiler to why she was crying, but enough to the point that it's just like, that was a random 3-second clip 5 seasons ago.
Yep.
So you're not there yet.
Yeah.
But that whale, when they go up the mountain, becomes important.
I won't say who. A Straw Hat says a line about just a little bit of backstory. One singular line becomes a whole arc. It's a whole thing.
Laboon,
baby. And Elijah, to your point, Big Sake is the jam, baby. Put that shit on play. But no, it is it's such an amazing journey. It's so hard to tell people because I won't act like it's not a little daunting. First of all, it flies by. It's not like that. When people think of 1,000 episodes, they're thinking of like hour-long shows. It's not like that. You can drink episodes. You're really going by 30 an hour. But the whole thing is, there's what the fuck other shows do you think of have 1,000 episodes and are at the top of their class for 20 fucking years?
Well, that's the thing. It's actually masterclass storytelling. Like, even Game of Thrones was a perfect example of something. There's literally, after season 6, huge dive into shallow water. I've watched 4 episodes in that by time in One Piece, and I'm like, I mean, there is a little bit of like, you can fast forward through like when they're just replaying old episodes of why they joined the crew. But like, if you cut those off, you're still left with, I don't fucking know how many hours of great quality content.
Shadow Shogun, it does not need to end. I think it's like, and that's one of the things. It doesn't feel like it's going to go on past when it's supposed to. That's
exactly.
The thing. Like, it's like everything has a purpose. I don't know if you're caught up in the manga. Like, everything in that has a purpose. And I don't like, and for me personally, it's one of the few things where I think he's pacing it right. And first of all, I don't know how he's going to end it in the next couple of years. But second of all, no, I don't think it needs to end. It's part of the journey. It's part about, I want it to end when Oda wants it to end, because that's his whole thing.
I mean, mild sort of spoiler if you're into the show a little bit. There's a character named Shanks who's the whole motivation to why Luffy is a pirate. That dude appears in one episode and then is gone. As far as I know, where I'm at.
Let me tell you.
So I went to the movie, One Piece Film Red, the most recent movie, and I was like, oh shit, Shanks is here.
I'll tell you right now, it took until so you don't see. So okay, Shanks. So you're gonna see a little bit of Shanks soon. I'll tell you that.
Here's intermittently.
Yeah, you'll see him a little bit. You'll see him again, and then motherfucker doesn't show up for like 500 episodes. And in the manga now, he's actually doing things on screen, and that's cool.
He is a threat.
I used to empathize with Sanji pre-time skip and maybe during the cake arc, but his scenes with chasing women and becoming one-dimensional literally got sick of it.
Well, I mean, how do I put it? Like, first of all, first of all, it doesn't happen as often as people say it does. It's really like kind of minuscule. I think it gets blown out of proportion a lot of the times. It's kind of.
I mean, where I'm at in the train arc, kind of like him just being like, no, I'm just gonna rescue someone. Fuck it.
Yeah, like everyone has their quirks and they get used a lot. That is like probably like
That's like with all anime. Like
yeah. Like his is that like, and it's like everybody has their thing. I have problems with certain characters because theirs don't show up anymore, and they used to be a little bit more fun. I mean, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I love Zora. Zora's top 3 too. My problem is like he used to be a little bit more fun, and that's his, and like, but they lost a little bit of his charm. And he's kind of, and for me, he's one dimensional. Cool as fuck, just one dimensional.
Yeah.
But like, what I do love is. What I do love is, hey, careful with the spoilers. Marcos is still on the journey. Don't throw these names out there.
It doesn't matter, honestly.
But I think the whole thing that comes into like the essence of it is there's a bunch of Straw Hats and everyone has their favorites, but everyone loves them all, right?
Also, it's really like I didn't know the cast would be as big as it is.
Oh, it's gonna get bigger. It only gets bigger.
I mean, them adding Chopper was just like they didn't need to do it, and I'm glad they did.
No, like when I say there's characters who are going to circle back that were in arc one, like he does a good job of like still bringing back and telling you updates, and I think he handles it's one tool that he uses, and I love that he uses it. Is whenever big news happens, right? Whenever news happens throughout the world, you get to see reactions across the world, and I think that normally reactions in anime, you think of like, and I was watching a video about this, and I was like, yeah, 100%. You think of Pokemon, right? Where it's like. That attack, and that's not the sort of reactions you want. Well, the reactions you want are like, whoa, people are reacting, even though it's like, oh, we're giving context to how they feel about something. It's new perspectives of like, oh, wow, they're kept up to date with this because they're all getting newspapers from these seagulls that they haven't made sense yet. But no, there is
also that dude is actually strong. Big news, Morgan.
Yeah, big news. But no, Marcos, I'm so excited for your journey because I genuinely say you are actually going to hit one of my probably my favorite streak of back-to-back arcs of One Piece. I'll tell you the name: Subodi Archipelago to the the time skip is some of the best. Just
all of that
writing period.
Like from Impel Down to
Subodi, Amazon Lily, Impel Down to Marineford.
All of that.
It's ridiculous how he was able to do all of that.
So mild. I mean, it's my own self-spoiler. Mm-hmm. I just know he exists, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I've seen TikToks where I'm like, that's one of the most evil characters that's ever been created in fiction. I'm looking forward to being like Don Flamingo, I think.
Oh, Don Flamingo!
Don Quixote. Doflamingo.
Hey, Dofi's like, just don't fuck with my shit. I got an empire. Don't fuck with my shit.
Doflamingo is legit like every evil Republican like stereotype you can think of.
Don't worry, Jay. He's told everybody. I hate when people tell this now. He's told like Oda's been very clear. It is not one of those. The treasure was the journey along the way. He has said it very clear. Don Flamingo.
The treasure was the journey for Gold Roger. That's why he left.
That's why he left. I guess that's right. That's a theory, a game theory. But But no, I think that
Flamingo is the best villain, hands down, especially because he has the best design. That design,
He does have some drip.
he has such drip. Like you
I'll
have,
give him that. Like I fucking hate him, but like
I mean, shoot, he's a man who's walking a pink flamingo coat. Like that shit's dope. But no,
I want those shades. I wish I could rock those shades.
One Piece, like so as a One Piece fan, I think, or as a long time One Piece fan, to be put in perspective, I've been weekly since around I want to say around Sabaody. So I've been weekly since then. If you want to get a timeline, I had to wait.
Probably going to be weekly starting this Sunday.
You gonna eat, JJ? But seriously, oh dude, when you see Sanji and Zoro's fixing, you're gonna just.
I mean, that's what I'm doing after we go home.
But seriously, you get to this point of joy where you get to watch other people's journey along the way, and I think that's the most exciting part.
That's where I was telling him that like one of my favorite TikToks right now is this old British lady, this old British black lady, that's just running through One Piece. She's at the same part you are, pretty much. She's at the end of Ennie's lobby right now, and I'm seeing her like see all the big moments from Ennie's lobby, like seeing her go like, Gear 2. What does that mean?
Bro, I'm telling you. So for a lot of people, they say a lot of things. Man, get her segundo. Like that is my shit. Like it's so good. It brings me joy that you're able to go along the journey, Marcos. Like I'm happy that you're doing it. I know it takes a lot of convincing sometimes, but truly,
it's a daunting like amount
thought. Yeah, it's a daunting thought.
But once you get into it, it's not bad.
It's not bad, and you just get to this flow state where you're like, I'm just watching, and then you blink, and you're like 100. So for me, I caught up to One Piece like basic. Like so, what happened was I had this one spring break that I was babysitting. Basically, I had like a week and a half off, and I was like, fuck it. I was babysitting my little cousin. He's cute. And I was like, cool, we're gonna be good. I watched One Piece the entire time.
Yeah, no, when my family left, like the only reason I'm on 980 and not 1,000 is because Paco and Juan were here and we watched Twisted Metal. If the 9-hour live stream didn't happen and they didn't come over, I'd probably be caught up by now. Like,
yeah. Throw that shade somewhere else. Like, damn, fuck this.
I drank that Odin arc, where that flashback arc. I was like, oh,
dude, because Odin shows up and he's that dude.
So, mild spoiler for people on the way. I just want to know how accurate this is. I'm watching One Piece, so these when they move past where I am doesn't mean anything to me. But mild spoiler to people that are looking. Just join back in 3 minutes. I just want to see how accurate this TikTok is according to you guys' realm of what you believe about One Piece.
Nice.
Yes.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I think it should deserve another reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Yeah.
I do like Alabasta's good.
Alabasta was so much fun.
Alabasta got its own movie.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Skypiea gets a lot of hate, but I like it. Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Down to the
Last minute detail.
Oh, bro.
Okay, pause it there. I don't. So that's the next arc you're gonna get into.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Post Ennie's lobby is technically the next arc you're getting into, but look, Thriller Bark is better on rewatch. The Thriller, I didn't.
Especially once you get to Wano, it's like,
Oh, Oh, I would be like that nigga too. I'd be mad. So this man fucked up everybody.
I mean, Elijah's in your corner. Thriller Bark is awesome.
Yeah, no,
Thriller Bark is good.
I'm not gonna say it's my favorite. I'm not gonna say it's close. But it's definitely I've warmed up to it over the years, and it's gotten better.
It probably wouldn't make my top 5.
There's a lot because I'm gonna play the second video, which is so there's a lot because these things don't mean anything to me. Like you say Thriller Park,
yeah.
I have no idea who these dudes are.
you can keep it going.
Yeah. It's like if I were to mention Chris Chan, like
Nope.
any Chris Chan arc, you'd be like, huh?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why is there a name?
Yup.
That's the goat. The goat.
Impel Down's fucking great.
Impel Down so good. Oh, and the openings back then.
That's why he's there.
Yeah.
Yup.
He's the goat. The goat.
I think this is the last one of this video. Oh no, post-war.
Yup.
Down to the last
Minute detail.
There's one more because that's that.
Yeah, that's only half.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Okay. So, man, look. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I can't stand watching Fishman. I really can't. Reading it. I support it 100%. Love the themes with it. I fucking hate watching Fishman. I really don't like
It
it.
really feels like a lesser version of Arlong Park.
It's like, I'm not telling you were wrong, Brooke, Zorro. I actually think a lot of the Straw Hats get to shine. I like the team ups in Thriller Bark. That team fighting was really cool, and if you watch it back, like that's some of the best shit you can do. Oh, Sanji was best in that arc, but and he was like an MVP from like the Oars fight, like just assisting people. Yeah, but Fishman Island, yeah.
I mean, for as much hate as Thriller Bark gets, that nothing happened moment gets a lot of shine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People like to sit there and be like, "Oh, Thriller Bark's trash." I'm like, it has one of your favorite moments of all time.
All right, let's keep going.
I've ever heard.
Okay, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because I think Pug Hazard on rewatch is worse. But that said,
Hazard is slow going.
yeah,
It's
Pug Hazard is
going.
slow as shit. But that said,
I would put the iDubbbz one on there. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, no, but it has one of the dopest moments, and you realize because you haven't met this character, you meet him in Sabaody, you realize you learn there's a character who's literal fruit. You're like, what the fuck can't he do? It's like you're like this
Fruit is bullshit.
I don't want to tell you the fruit because it'll give it away, but it's the name. You're like, no, it's right. Like, but he's one of the coolest characters. So, go ahead.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's why he's the goat. The goat. That's what I'm
Yes.
He's the goat.
And then, like, as someone that's like, I have no idea what that means, but that's like 8 or 9 arcs that are like, yo, no, dude, you'll have fun watching.
Oh hell yeah. Oh no. When you get to what? Okay, this is talking about. I don't want to talk to anything about it. But when you get to Whole Cake, you're not expecting the direction it takes. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, it's Super Sentai. Like, you're gonna love that shit.
Goat. The goat.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything. Down to the last minute detail. It was perfect.
Oh, that's ahead.
That's beyond me.
To the last minute detail.
So my argumentation is, I'd actually even argue that I think, spoiler alert, if you're not caught up in the manga, Egghead right now is, I'd actually argue it's the GOAT. The GOAT. It's a fucking phenomenal post Wano Egghead Island arcs. It's phenomenal. It's fucking fantastic. Oda straight up said, everything I've done before Wano is a prequel to this arc. Like, it's a prequel to this part of the story. This is all a lead up. It's so good. I love One Piece. I'm sorry. Shit, this turned into the One Piece podcast because I can gush over this series so much. It brings me so much joy. It's like, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to end. I don't. I mean, I do. I want it to hit the conclusion, but when it does, there's going to be a hole in my heart that's going to be filled from me watching another 1,000 and however many fucking episodes there's going to be at the time.
I'm starting over.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Once I get weekly, I'm like, well, time to start over.
I'm actually about to do my first rewatch in a long time. I haven't done one in like 4 years.
But yeah, I'm having fun watching it, and I do understand the argument that it's actually not long enough somehow.
And you'll continue to feel that way, and it just gets more like I've had friends who've slowed down as they get closer to the end because they're like, I don't want it to end.
Yeah, that's where I was. That's why I've been on Wano for so long.
And it's like the moment you get to Wano, it's hard. It's hard to though. And to the live action trailer, look, the second one was way better. Way better.
It was, yeah.
I'm going to give it a fair shot, mainly because Oda is doing his damnedest for this one, and I want to give it some love.
When does it come out? Because we're probably going to end up reviewing it.
Like at the end of the month, I think.
Yeah.
We are going to end up reviewing it on this show because probably at that point we're due for another Animexcellence. So we will review it.
And then it gets to Arlong. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm going to have a good time with it.
The 31st. Literally the last day this month.
You don't got to tell me to watch One Piece shit. I'm going to watch it out of obligation.
But yeah, we are going to review it. And that's the Animexcellence's job. But I'm kind of excited about it, mostly because out of all the stretchy things, like literally Fox poured millions of dollars to try to make you like the Fantastic Four. It looks better in Netflix, but I hope that they kind of keep it in the dark if they can.
I don't want to. I hope we'll see how it goes. I don't want to tell anything about it. Stretchy powers aren't my thing in any
They
form.
look terrible 99%. No one's done it right.
First of all, stretchy powers are not cool until Luffy did it, and then after that, I was like, "Look,
it's not wrong."
Look, you're not telling me Reed Richards is your favorite, not because of his stretching powers. It's because of his smarts. You're not telling me Plastic Man's your favorite, not because of his powers. Actually, Plastic Man does it pretty cool, but.
He turns into different things.
But he also, he's
more goon.
Yeah. He's a goon. Like he'll be a lady's dress for no fucking reason. But Luffy, yeah,
Luffy did it so good that Marvel copied it. Miss Marvel is literally Luffy.
Just has to be. That's how it has to be.
Well, on to one of our last topics of the night.
The only reason I brought this beer.
This anime is so much fun, and it's weird because this is the deadest genre that like you can look at in almost any other aspect.
Pause. So simply too deep. When you come out the gate with freezing and Sekirai, I have to have some questions. I mean, I can learn a lot about you from those two right there. I was like, oh, thank you. I do like wearing red sometimes. But I was like, I have some questions. I can tell your taste from that. If you don't know what freezing and Sekirai is, yeah. Don't worry about it. But go ahead. Something we talk about I read it last year. So I read
I didn't know. I mean, well, obviously there's manga, but yeah.
I read it last year, was like,
I'm happy to finally have a day off of work.
I knew it was gonna be that good shit.
It's so fucking beautiful on top of everything.
It is.
This thing is almost autobiographical to me.
Like that. So where I think they hit their coup de grace, and I didn't know how they were gonna adapt it. It was just as good in the manga, but episode 4 was fucking awesome. It is literally the most recent one.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there and they're like, we gotta go. Like it opens up and they're like, they're not even like, you're like, they're not in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, they're just broing out.
Yeah, they're broing out. It's like, man, I'm gonna get a date today. All right, we'll see. How can you do that with some fucking tooted up zombie who's farting her brains out on the street? And then they're like, first of all, Ken shows the homie.
Let me start out like just a step back. zombies are so overdone. Like, it's so hard to like. I wouldn't watch a zombie movie for the most part. The last one that we gave high marks to, the one that fucking Zack Snyder made, has robots and aliens in it. Like, and that barely got like that's good. Like, not great. Yeah. And this one was just kind of like, do you work a dead-end job? Do you hate your life? Imagine not having to do that tomorrow.
It makes zombie apocalypse like, you're like, damn, well, my life is I like my life right now. I love like the opportunities I have. I love my friends I have. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of like it makes a compelling argument to want to be in a zombie apocalypse written world.
As Ghost Tab said, we're talking about Zom 100, but it is very like, it's not a 1-for-1 comparison, but there was when in Texas we had snowpocalypse and no one could go to work for 3 days at the very least. Some people up to 2 weeks, some people up to a month. But for me, it was like, oh, I can't go to work tomorrow. No one has power for the foreseeable future. That was Zom 100 for me. To
like, you're free. Because I think the core element of it comes from like, look, and I've thought about this a lot recently, where it's like, you know, I'm someone who I like, you know, I like work. I try and juggle this, do all these different things, and same as y'all do too. And it's just like, damn. All we do is work, like, right? Like, your main job takes up so much of your time in your day. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I would love to be doing the things I love to do. Hey, why do we make sure that we show up for this? Hey, we want this to be something that we get to do primarily, right? But but creative endeavors.
Yeah.
But you get so caught up in the grind, you're like, man, I got to make money, and leaving my job would be a lot of work and all that kind of stuff. And just to see someone who's like at a way worse rate, like an exploitative company, flip their head and just see what happens. And they're like, their life gets filled with color. It's dope. And I love, and this is why I know, I don't want to give too much shine to it, because this is where I'm like, I don't need to see the live action for this at all. There is one that's coming out.
I mean, I feel like if you like abbreviate it, it would make a fun movie. But it's just basically Zombieland Woody Harrelson before he met up with everybody.
Yeah. Like, this is one where I'm like, I can see why you want to do it live action. I wouldn't necessarily advocate for it.
My only thing is like it's so unique with how it handles the colors. Like, it's so colorful, and that's important.
My favorite thing is that every zombie apocalypse that I've ever known of in movies is like, dude was knocked out, zombies took over. And then like, this is the one movie or one medium where it's just like, dude was in his apartment getting drunk while zombies it's the one medium where like, yeah, like there's an explanation for where he was at this moment.
and don't worry, Elijah, there's not too much to spoil here. It's very much like character driven.
It's 4 episodes and it literally I don't know where you're at, but it's just like zombie apocalypse happens, makes a list of how he could live his best life now that he can only be true to himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you know, and then he meets people along the way. Speaking of the people he meets, he has a best friend, and I love the best friend. Best friend.
I thought that was the funniest thing, where he's just kind of like, all right, I made this list. I haven't talked to my rugby friend in a while.
Marcos, what was the last episode you watched?
The episode where he meets up with a rugby friend. He's
gotcha.
Just,
so
that is such a wholesome episode.
It's such a wholesome episode. Dude, you'll love the next one, because I thought, like, did you see? Yeah, okay, cool.
Also, yeah.
I think that this was like, they showed off their flex. They showed off that they could have. I thought it was the funniest one.
Yeah,
and it was by far the funniest one. And I also thought it was the like most emotional one, where they juggled both ends, and it was really incredible to see. But man, it's just fun. It's just fun, pure unadulterated me being like, yeah, I love this shit. Kensho's awesome. Kensho's the MVP. You're gonna love him all the way throughout. He's just an idiot.
I mean, I already like that he's stripped naked. So.
He's naked a lot. But
for me, the reason I say it's almost autobiographical is because I was pretty much in Akira's shoes. Like, as I was watching the first episode, he's like, all right, yeah, I remember my first day at current job. That's exactly how it was. Everyone was so friendly and nice, and I was like, this is going to be great. Then reality set in, and I was like, I don't like...
Oh, gifting a sub.
Oh,
No,
thanks,
look at that.
Elijah.
I don't know. I'm not sure he's ever done that.
Yeah,
Go on.
yes, it says he's gifted some.
No, but yeah, you see it gets progressively worse and worse. I've never had it as bad. as
But
our-
you
as
know
our
when
but
like, I've been there too. It's like
right,
real-
yeah, it's like know that feel, bro. Like, the thing that I thought was
My bad.
hilarious was that, year 3 for him, apocalypse happens. Year 3 for me, COVID. He's
like, I don't have to go to. Yes, you do. Wait, no.
So this was my COVID experience because literally the weekend before, I went back home to Eagle Pass. So I took like a few days off, went back home to Eagle Pass, and then everyone was talking about this COVID shit happening. They're like, so what do you think? Like, I was like, oh, like probably nothing's gonna happen. And I had always made the joke that like they're never gonna let us work from home, so they're gonna cure this shit. Because like,
Nope.
my company has always had like this stick up their ass where it's like we can't work from home. It's just not possible. Even though COVID has shown it's completely fucking possible. So I was like, yeah, nah. Like, it's not gonna happen. I've lost hope on that front. So my first day back to work, back to reality, I lived really close to the building, so I'm walking to the office and I'm like, hey, parking lot's kind of empty. That's weird. Oh, my receptionist friend is not at her station. She's probably in the bathroom. And I go to my desk and my supervisor's waiting for me and he's like, hey, yeah, you're going to have to take all this shit. We're going to start working from home.
And you're like,
Freedom! He's like, so you're going to have to take today off so that you can,
JJ at
haul
that
all this
moment.
shit. That was literally me. Because I was like, you do realize I live like less than a block away. He was like, yeah, but we have to be fair. Everyone else got the day off when they had to set up their work from home shit. So I
Token
was like,
Warrior, welcome to the stream.
yeah, welcome back, Token Warrior. you're. I don't know why my voice turned that bitch, but yeah, welcome back.
Because you just talked about One Piece for like 40 minutes.
That's a
I thought that would be a pause. Like I'm scratching the last segment because we talked about.
yeah. I mean,
but yeah, I totally related to Akira in this series, especially in that first episode where I was like, I'm free. I can literally do whatever I want.
it's just so incredible to see. And what's crazy is like, I'm kind of caught up in the manga. There's a gap that hasn't been translated yet, and then after that, like there's more chapters, but I didn't want to read them. And it's just I can't wait to see how far they go in the anime because I know based on who's shown in the intro, I know they're going quite a bit. Because look at the ending shows off the main 4 characters that'll be involved, but they don't lose that energy. They don't ever lose that energy of like just being appreciative of what's happening, having like they do have some arcs with some stakes, but it's just like this is one of the rare ones where it just in a short. The main character is so charismatic that you're just like, I like this guy.
It really does feel like this is about Woody Harrelson in Zombieland, 100%.
And it's just a matter of, so simply, of course we do. We're old school anime heads in some cases. He had Grappler Baki in there too. But
yeah, so simply, I'm sorry we're not, like, I just don't want to lose track of the conversation. We will have a nostalgia question at the end of every Animexcellence from now on so that we can be on track to cover every basis because as far as I know, me and JJ have been to anime since, like, 1998. And TJ is not probably much further, honestly.
Came out the womb. Not 1998, but I said...
I might be earlier because, like...
Well, if you count Ranma 1.5.
Right,
like,
you count Ranma and Super Campeones.
Yeah, if I count Pokemon, then shit, it's been day one.
Which I'm wearing a Super Campeona shirt.
But before we get into like just our nostalgia question, which I assume we're ending off on.
Yeah.
Other things this season that are really good. Just to kind of give a quick shout outs. So what is it? Level 1 Hero. I forgot the full name, but Level 1 Level 1 Hero. It's really funny. It's so funny. It is about a washed up protagonist. And the Demon King comes to see, or the demon like leader comes to see him and is like, "You're washed up now." The fuck? It's
What happened to you, bro?
It's so funny. He's like, "You just sit around and literally, it's like you sit around and watch porn." It's like,
It's like Ganon coming back to see like,
yep,
bro, what
level
the
1.
fuck
Yeah, sorry,
happened to you?
level 1 Demon Lord and 1 Room Hero. It is genuinely funny.
Demon Lord
Vinland Saga
made it its
Season
way to
2,
my
I've been
TikTok
wanting-
that I was just kind of like, that's pretty edgy, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh no, it makes jokes about like one of the episodes. Like he's trying to figure out what to do for work because he's like motivated and he tries to be a YouTuber and he sucks at streaming. He sucks at commentary. So then he gets he gets basically this the Demon Lord can transform into it because Demon Lord's a girl, and so like the Demon Lord can transform into adult version, and like it's literally like he watches as dudes come in and the views go up, and then they get banned because she's being too risque. So there's shit like that. What is it? Baki's back again. And Baki's kind of like JoJo, except without stands, and that's okay. Where it's just bombastic.
One of our first episodes was reviewing season 1 of the newest season of half of the new season of JoJo. We never finished.
Well, that was Netflix's fault.
Yeah, that's on now.
It was good.
Yeah,
Part 6 is fine.
good. I really hope that Netflix didn't kill it.
Hulk. That one is like, there is this hero from Earth, and he literally comes through and he's like, and he enters this demon tournament, and like the main person who was running was like, "That guy's suspicious. He's the hero from Earth. He can't run in this tournament to be the Demon King." And he literally is like getting interviews like, "I despise humans." So like, and he's just doing shit. So it's super funny. I'm blanking on the name. I'll post it to the places if need be, but there's basically one where there's this like detective, and like it's basically it's about this headless woman who's immortal, and there's and it's almost like this detective sort of anime. It's really really good. That's coming out right now. So there's quite a few different shows that are in the my bad, Mushoku Tensei season 2. The ED arc is around, and it's pretty great. Mushoku Tensei looks great as always. Mushoku Tensei is the anime that I can't recommend, but it's great. Literally can't recommend it, but it's good. It's one of the most beautiful things. Like Mushoku Tensei season 1 is one of the best things you can watch. One of the most gorgeous animated series. Still can't recommend it to anybody. But yeah, yep. See, Elijah's right on there. Mushoku Tensei's my addiction right now, and no, not Durarara. Durarara is not coming out right
You
now.
gotta go to the bathroom, JJ?
Yeah, Durarara's not coming out, but I do love Durarara. No, it's not because Durarara, the headless girl doesn't have the head, but in this one, the head is the only thing that's there. So it's like a bodiless girl, I guess. But there's a lot of really good shows out right now, and so if you're into anime, hit me up if you want some recommendations. I try my best to watch at least one episode from every show that comes out in the season.
I'm a little upset at this note, just because I gotta take up some time while JJ's in the bathroom. I saw the newest season of Record of Ragnarok, which was 5 episodes, and I don't think 5 episodes should ever be a season. That being said, the whole Buddha arc about like you
brought Record of Ragnarok back.
you can't force people to be happy. Like that's all. The whole lesson from 5 episodes was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Buddha's arc's cool.
What else I got?
Elijah, I'm so bad at texting. I owe you a text, legit. Like, I put it on my calendar. Let's just have a chat. I need to talk to you on this side. I just don't get to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Like,
Elijah, the next time that you're here in Austin, I know that
Marcos is gonna tackle me and hold me down screaming.
I was just gonna say, we'll definitely have you on for an Animexcellence because that's definitely one of your strong suits. We actually probably should have paused this till Juan came on Tuesday, but it is what it is.
Well, he hasn't watched any of the. He hasn't watched that. Yeah.
So we were right not to keep Wano this episode.
To your question, what do you got on your mind?
So our nostalgia question, I actually primed this for you in one of the times we hung out. Out of all the anime that you've ever watched, what is your favorite soundtrack?
Ooh, that's a toughie. I mean, the popular.
Oh, dude, why would you do this? Fuck you!
Because I primed you. I told you. Ask this.
The popular answer is gonna be Cowboy Bebop. That's, I think, like.
I think that it's the funniest thing that Adult Swim could not show Cowboy Bebop in 30 years.
Right? Yeah, it's like we got to keep this shit going. I want to try to come up with another one because like that's gonna be in a lot of people's.
Shit. Okay, so I have to go with like. I got to go with like a high tier shonen, maybe a more obscure one, and like a 12 series episode. Okay, so from the big shonen in front, Bleach by far. I've talked about it before. Bleach's OST is fantastic. Bleach's OST is fucking phenomenal. Yeah. Okay. So let me see what I can do with this right now.
We actually don't know if we should open them.
Let's not open them. Actually, we can do a sneak peek. I'll open and read these on our next show because I know we're running late.
We're running super late. This is actually the longest Animexcellence that's probably ever happened.
One Piece, thank you. It was worth it. I don't give a fuck.
When we talk about One Piece, it just goes longer. We didn't even actually allude to the fifth gear that people kept talking about.
It's happening this Sunday. Watch it live,
bro. They treat the matchups now like wrestling matchups. I don't know if you see the trailers,
but I mean, it's like I used to watch on illegal streaming, like on Facebook. Somebody would be watching Dragon Ball Super in Japanese in Mexico, and they would record it on their iPhone, and then that's how I watched like Master Roshi being like, "Eat well, live well."
Dog, hey, he drops a bar though. Sleep well, eat well. Like, sorry, Tournament of Power arc. He was saying it, about to die. It was wonderful.
Dude, we had literally like none of us lived at Austin at that point. I lived in Lubbock going to school, and then I invited a whole bunch of people over. And we stayed in an Airbnb. Literally, all six of us gathered around my phone, just being like, "Hey, bro, Master Roshi's about to die."
Dude, that's how it is. No, right that way. No, right now, literally, they cut trailers that were like wrestling promo matches. I'm not showing them for your sake, but like they are. It was literally like this Saturday, like for Sanji and Zoro's this Saturday, Sanji versus Bing, Zoro versus Bink, Kid in Law versus Bink, like stuff like that. It was wild.
I saw the most badass, and I don't know how like literally I'm watching One Piece, and I don't know like how this reveals to where you guys are now. But it's literally like Don Flamenco, like chained to the ground. And he's like, people say like, whose justice will like prevail? And it's like, well, justice only matters to the victors. Will it be the pirates? Shows 8 random dudes. Will it be the Marines? Shows 4 random dudes. And I was just kind of like, that sounds epic, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, actually, to close out real quick, because I know we can suck that up again. You actually got to see, like, because I know Marines were kind of fodder until this arc for the first time, where they showed off Aokiji.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the guy can freeze the fucking ocean. Yeah, that's a threat. He beat the entire crew and said, y'all shouldn't trust Robin. I'm out. That's
JJ, what's the name of the guy that you said that Luffy never beat and he never fights again?
Magellan. Impel Down.
No. Look, Impel Down, the guy there, he's a problem. No one has an answer to that problem. And the only reason that shit worked out was because of very much luck and coincidence. Like, he's the only person you're like, Luffy's dead ass like, nah. Like, we got to go.
Well, JJ literally, as he was talking about like all the great things that happen in One Piece, he's like, Luffy goes back and fights everyone except this one dude.
Because there's no answers to it.
He took a few L's to Crocodile, But then he beats Crocodile.
No, and let me tell you right now, Magellan doesn't lose to anybody. He really doesn't. There's a character who is a high tier problem, and Magellan's like, I don't have time for y'all niggas. Literally one shots him, and it's like, I've got other shit to deal with. I'll be back for this.
Clean the shit up.
Dude, no one has an answer from. They're like, because everyone else is like, yeah, we can do this. He comes out, they're like, I don't know about this guy. But no, guys, we had such a fun time tonight. It was a blast getting to go through the subjects. We went a little long, so thank you guys for sticking with us for 3 hours. Any final thoughts before we head out?
Join us on the next Animexcellence. I say this every episode that it should be more anime heavy, but we just got really excited talking about Evo, honestly, and
Twisted Metal
and One Piece.
Well, I mean, overall, it's probably 50-50 at this point because Evo and One Piece equal out. But I think our next episode should be I don't know. Fuck, it's already August.
Don't try and predict it. We'll be back next month as per usual. It's early August. Maybe at the end of this month. Maybe at the start of next. Really appreciate y'all's time.
Whenever we binge the live action One Piece.
Well, our whole schedule is about to change, and I love you guys, and please keep on support us. But there's a chance we might be doing 3 shows a week here in 2 weeks. So
we'll figure that out.
I can't be on 3 times a week.
You will. You're not on.
You were like, actually, there's one show you don't have to go on at all.
Then it's perfect.
Nothing changes for you.
I believe one of the days will change.
That is fair, but we'll figure something out. But no, thank you guys always so much for your support. We really appreciate all the feedback and everything you guys do, and all the support you guys provide for us. We're gonna continue to bring anime to y'all as much as we can and often as we can. But there's so many other shows we want to talk about too, and so thank you guys, and we'll be back for another Animexcellence some other time. We're out. Say bye to the people.
Bye to the people.